What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, everybody? I hope you are well. Welcome on this Friday night before the holidays kick in. So excited to have you. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Julian Gordon, and I want to welcome you to the Multifamily Masterplan webinar. I know it's a Friday night, and if I can, I want to get you out so that you can go have some fun, perhaps a date night, something like that. But thank you for being here for this important, valuable information that has the ability to transform your families, your financial future, and help you create generational wealth. Please, in the chat, let me know that you can see me and hear me. Please let me know that you can see me and hear me. So I see the questions. See the questions are already piling in. We will take a Q&A at the end, okay? We will take Q&A at the end. All right, great. Hi, everybody. So glad to have you here. I see a lot of people turning up right now, and we tuning in. Other people turning up right now, and we tuning in. And some of y'all still gonna turn up tonight. I know it. Cool. All right. Good. So let's get it in. Your time is sacred. Time is the most valuable thing that we have. If we have a ton of wealth, but we don't have any more time, then it's kind of meaningless, but we get to pass on the wealth. So I value the time that you are taking to be here. And I'm going to make sure that this time that we have together is absolutely worth it. So thank you. You didn't show up for me. Many of you have no clue who I am. You might have been following me on Instagram, online, and through my email list for quite some time. But for those of you who don't know me, you didn't show up for me tonight. You showed up for yourself and for your future. And so I just want to celebrate you for making that choice. Every day, we're making hundreds and hundreds of choices, and those choices are between our best self and our base self. We're making choices between our best self and our base self. And the more choices that we make that are in alignment with our base self, the more basic our life will be. And the more choices that we make that are in alignment with our best self, the more we'll live out our best life. And so you had a decision tonight here at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central. You had a choice to be Netflixing right now, which is your base self, or to be here on this webinar, which is your best self. And so I'm so glad that you chose your best self in this moment. And I just really encourage you to continue to choose your best self. You make hundreds and hundreds of choices every single day. Success is binary. It won't be because of one singular choice that you make that changes the entire trajectory of your life. It'll be these little small choices that you make between your best self and your base self every single day. And the more consistently you make choices that are in line with your best self, which are going to be counterintuitive sometimes, and they're actually going to be against what your body is telling you to do at that moment in time. But that's how I know that you actually live your best life. And so I've made several choices, a sequence of choices that have been in alignment with my best self. And that's what's put me into the position to create what I've created and be able to share that knowledge and information and wisdom with you tonight. So I just want to say thank you for being here, and let's get into it. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to share my slides, and please let me know that you can see them. All right, please let me know that you can see them. Can you see them? Can you see them? Cool. All right, perfect. We're good to go. So given that, let me know, what market are you looking to buy multifamily real estate in? What market are you looking to buy multifamily real estate in? I see Florida, I see Louisiana here. I'm in New Orleans right now. El Paso, Raleigh, Florida, New Jersey. Give me more cities. Y'all giving me states. States aren't markets. All right. Dallas, Texas, Oakland, California, where I'm from. I'm from Oakland. Went to UCLA for undergrad. Went back up to Stanford for business school. Bounced over to Brooklyn, New York, where I lived for 10 years, and just moved down to New Orleans, Louisiana last December. So I've only been here for about a year. I see Tampa, Tacoma, Phoenix, Atlanta, Lynchburg, Bay Area, Charlotte, Kissimmee, Florida, Vegas, Birmingham, Dallas. Cool. So we got markets from all over. That's exciting. All right. Good. So for some of you, I just want to let you know, some of you are in some very mature markets right now, and you're finding it hard to find real estate that actually is going to cash flow. So I'm going to challenge you tonight to explore other markets. Of course, I have 4 strategies in terms of where you should buy. 1, you should try to buy where you live. Okay. If you can't do that, then you should buy where you're from. If you can't do that, then you should buy in a place that you want to be a contribution to. And then if you can't do that, then you should buy wherever you're going to make money. Okay. So for me, I bought where I was living at the time. I bought in Brooklyn, New York. I'm going to share my portfolio with you in just a second. And then from there, I bought where I'm from, which is Oakland, California. And now I'm buying in New Orleans, which is a community that I want to be a contribution to. So this has been my sequence. So for those of you in mature markets, doesn't mean you have to give up on real estate investing. It just means that you're going to have to explore another market to be able to invest in. All right. So with that, now that everybody is here, let's get into it. I want to welcome you all to the Multifamily Master Plan, how to finance, find, and finalize your first multifamily real estate deal and start living for free. Yes, I sincerely mean that you will be able to live for free if you do what I share with you tonight the correct way. My name is Julian Gordon. For those of you who don't know me, I'm the creator of the Multifamily Movement and the Freedom School, and I'm excited to share this wisdom and this knowledge with you tonight to help you change the trajectory, financial trajectory of your family. So why me and why am I doing this work? So for me, my purpose, my why is to free 300 people like Harriet Tubman to pursue their purpose through entrepreneurship and multifamily real estate. Now, of course, you probably heard about the Harriet Tubman movie and how they did an injustice in that movie. I know the true story of Harriet Tubman. I've studied her and researched her, and I'm inspired by her life. She is the ancestor spirit that I look to for guidance. And over the course of a decade, she made 19 trips below the Mason-Dixon line in order to free about 300 people. And when you look at that generation after generation, from those 300 people, generation after generation after generation, her impact has expanded, right? And so for me, my commitment at this moment in time is to free 300 people through entrepreneurship and multifamily real estate. To date, I have freed about 7 people in full. Like, these people will literally come here and say, Julian is the reason that I'm walking in my purpose every single day. And some of those are entrepreneurship. And now I'm helping people do that through real estate. Now, Harriet Tubman was, of course, the #1 conductor on the Underground Railroad, right? Which was a series of people and safe houses that got you to the Mason-Dixon line and beyond. For me, I like to call multifamily real estate the above ground railroad because it's so obvious. It's been in front of our eyes for so long. We were born in real estate. Real estate is always around us. Yet, for some reason, we couldn't see it because it was almost too obvious for us. We've just been on the wrong side of the equation when it comes to real estate, okay? So my professional background in terms of real estate, I've done a lot more, but in terms of real estate, my professional background is I built a $3.6 million real estate portfolio with 10 multifamily homes that generate 5 figures per month in passive income. And I did all that in just 6 years on the side. Literally, real estate started off as a side hustle for me, and it kept growing and growing and growing, and so many people kept asking me about it that I started to teach it. But my core business is actually the Freedom School, where I teach subconscious success and entrepreneurship and digital marketing online. But real estate has picked up, and I was just taking the cash that I was making through that form of employment and employing my money through multifamily real estate. My real estate portfolio returns 13.88% annually. If you look at the S&P 500 over the past 10 years, for those of you who have money in your IRAs or your 401ks, it's only returned about 5.49%. Everybody says, oh, the stock market just returns 10% every single year. Anytime somebody gives you numbers that end with 0, they're usually lying, okay? Anytime somebody gives you numbers that end with 0, they're likely lying, okay? So go do the research for yourself and see how your portfolio has actually returned. My properties have appreciated because I bought right, and that's a principle that I'm going to teach you tonight. My properties have appreciated by 30.29% in value. Some of those are based on recent appraisals, and some of those are based on just market analysis and CMAs, comparative market analyses. I'm founder of the Freedom School and the Multifamily Movement, and I want to be clear that I am not a licensed real estate agent. And you do not have to be a licensed real estate agent either to be an investor in multifamily real estate, okay? So I just want everybody to be clear on that, all right? So I'm gonna be 100% transparent tonight and share with you the ins and outs of how I've gotten to where I've gotten. And so here's my actual portfolio, okay? I'm not just gonna say that I have 10 multifamily homes. These are the actual homes that I own at this moment in time. In fact, I just sold this one here, and that will be replaced on December 4th by a 5-plex that I bought here in New Orleans, okay? So I just wanna be clear that I control all of these homes. In fact, most Americans never own their home because they either refinance en route to paying their mortgage, but you do not own your home until you've actually paid off the mortgage in full. So most Americans do not own their home. But when it comes to multifamily real estate, you don't own a home. You're not a home owner. You control properties, okay? So I control all 10 of these properties, and I've never, ever, ever made a mortgage payment on any of them. Why? Because the moment I bought my first home here in Brooklyn, New York, the rents or the mortgage was being paid by the people who were living on the second and the third floor. So even though I control all of these properties, I've never directly made the mortgage payment. Yes, the rents come through my account to then go to the bank, but the money has not come from my pocket or from a work that I've done outside of real estate. It's come from the actual tenants, right? So let me just share with you the journey really quickly. I bought this home, this 3-family home in Brooklyn in 2013. I saw what was happening in Oakland, and I saw the same trends happening in Brooklyn. And I said, you know what? I'm going to go on the other side of the line of gentrification, the negative side, the quote unquote negative side. And guess what? Because I bought on the negative side, what happened was the wave kept coming and coming and coming. And guess what? I got to ride that wave. And that's been an amazing journey off of that one purchase. I used the equivalent of an FHA loan for that with 3.5% down. And so I was able to control this $900,000+ asset for just 3.5% down. And I'll show you my actual income at that time when I bought that home. Okay. Then you see this 4-year gap between 2013 and 2017. That 4-year gap was me, trying to buy another property in Brooklyn and realizing that at $1 million price point and knowing that I was going to have to put 25% down for the second investment property, that would be $250,000. So I was trying to find another property in Brooklyn, but I couldn't. I was also getting my feet wet, understanding what it meant to own property and what it meant to be a landlord. And so I came to a realization that I was not going to be able to continue to invest in Brooklyn at the level that I wanted to. And so I found another market, and that market ended up being New Orleans. This is the home that I bought in New Orleans here in 2017. A friend of mine is a real estate agent here, and he knew that I was looking for an investment property. And he found this one, and now I actually live in this property, and I'm doing this webinar from here tonight. Now, the third property I bought was actually in Oakland, California, where I'm from, and I bought this with my best friend. And this is in East Oakland, where we used to hang out all the time, and we just wanted to own a piece of Oakland before it got away from us. And so this is the property that we own. Now, after having these properties on the East Coast, Gulf Coast, and West Coast, I was tri-coastal at that time, something happened for me in my mind, okay? And instead of calling myself a home buyer, my identity changed, and I believe that I am are the most powerful 2 words in the English language. And then I said, I am a real estate investor, not just a home buyer. And in fact, all of you who are here tonight, I don't just want you to be a home buyer. I don't just want you to have one piece of property. I want you to have as many as you actually desire. So I changed my identity from a home buyer, a multifamily home buyer, to a real estate investor. And once my identity changed, once my I am statement changed, then you can see that my behavior started to move in alignment with it. In 2018, I ended the year with these 2 additional properties here in New Orleans, and I bought these while I was living in Brooklyn. Okay, so for those of you who are afraid to invest from a distance, you don't have to be. There are strategies in terms of how to do that successfully. But then in 2019, this year, I've been on an absolute tear. And in 2019, every home that you see on the bottom level is actually bought this year. And I have 2 more that are in the works before the year is up. So my target is to have 7 homes this year with over 20 doors, all in one single year, leveraging the teachings that I'm going to share with you tonight. So this is a 4-plex on the West Bank. This is a duplex in the St. Roch neighborhood. This is another duplex. This is a 4-plex out in the East, and this is a 4-plex in the Treme. So together I have 27 doors with a 13.88% cash on cash return, 30.3% appreciation. I'm giving you exact numbers, y'all. I'm not sugarcoating anything. And the collective rents for all those properties are $29,200 per month. And the total value of my portfolio is $3.6 million before accounting for the mortgages and debt. Okay, so this is what I've been able to build in a very short period of time. Again, I started in 2013. Okay, and then there was a 4-year gap. So literally most of this has come in the last 3 years. All right. So I want to show you how to accelerate your process. I say that real estate is a get rich slow business, but 6 years is pretty fast. Okay. So I just say that to manage your expectations, because there's other people out there who are selling you on get rich fast. And I don't want you to be deceived by this particular industry. Okay. So I've not only been able to do this for myself, I've been able to teach this to others. And so you see the Roll family, they have a 4-plex in Los Angeles. The Campbell family, they have a duplex in Charlotte. And Jackie, she just acquired 2 properties, one a single family and one a triplex in Philadelphia. So I'm teaching teaching this now to as many people as possible. Once Harriet crossed the Mason-Dixon line, she realized that she was alone. And she realized that freedom didn't feel good alone. So she went back to get her family first. Some of them didn't want to go. And then she went and got anybody who was willing to come along. And so now I am on the above ground railroad. I'm seeking to help anybody who is willing to take this journey with me. My students are succeeding all over. That's Amina. She got a fourplex here in New Orleans. Dante, he closed. He's the fastest student I have to close. He closed in 34 days from joining. And then Spencer, he just acquired a Burr duplex in Cleveland, Ohio, which is his hometown. Okay, so tonight I'm going to show you the multifamily math, how to quickly and quantitatively evaluate a real estate deal in less than 10 minutes so that you can make an offer before anyone else. I'm going to show you the multifamily map, how to find great emerging markets, neighborhoods, and properties near you or from a distance that will provide great cash flow and potential appreciation, and the multifamily mindset, how to think like a real estate investor when it comes to wealth, money, real estate, and particularly debt. Okay, so there's a lot of you who watch all kinds of podcasts out there and YouTube channels and read blog posts and things of that nature. And a lot of the tactical stuff in terms of how to acquire real estate is out there. But the part that everybody is missing is the multifamily mindset. It is a mindset, your relationship to debt, your relationship to money, your relationship to your own value in the world, your relationship to freedom, right? Some of you don't actually believe that freedom is even possible, right? So it's actually the mindset. The tactical stuff is there. But what's blocking us, even though the blueprint is out there, the how-to is out there, is the mindset. And that's what I focus on, is helping you actually get the right mindset. There is the poverty mindset, there's the middle class mindset, and then there's the wealthy mindset. And me growing up as a middle class kid, I thought that was good. And it was good. I was provided for. I had everything that I needed, but I realized that the middle class mindset was not the wealthy mindset. And I've actually had to release some of my parents' beliefs in order to switch over to the wealthy mindset. And that has been challenging, right? That has been challenging. But now that I'm seeing the truth for what it is and how wealth is really created, in all honesty, I'm going to be a lot wealthier than my parents. But I'm grateful for the momentum that they provided me to even get to this position. Okay. So ultimately, what I want to get you all to is what I call rent and mortgage freedom. Rent and mortgage freedom. Rent and mortgage freedom is the result of buying multifamily real estate, which has cash flow that eliminates your housing expense forever. Okay. It is the result of buying multifamily real estate, which has cash flow that eliminates your housing expense forever. So typically, most of us, our housing expense is about 1/3 of all of our expenses, okay? It's about 1/3. Now, what I found is that when you purchase a piece of multifamily real estate the right way, you immediately get to release that 1/3 expense, and now your expenses only take up 2/3 of whatever it is that you're earning. And I've noticed that that creates immediate freedom. This one single decision creates immediate freedom and breathing room for you. This may not get you to full freedom with one purchase, but it is create immediate freedom knowing that you never, ever, ever have to pay a housing expense again. In fact, in chat, let me know if you never had to pay a housing expense again, what would be possible for you that's not possible right now? If you never had to pay a housing expense again, what would be possible for you that's not possible for you right now? Travel, more properties, investing, be debt-free, pay my parents' debt. Y'all ready to go on vacation. Work less, better life, more time. Yes, I'm just now seeing family. Y'all trying to get out and leave your families out. Student loans will be paid off, peace of mind, stress-free, aviation, retirement. Beautiful. Okay. So this is not just about getting more money. This is about actually having a stress-free life, having peace of mind, being able to step into your purpose and in your ministry, being able to travel, being able to spend more quality time with your family, being able to work less, being able to step into entrepreneurship. This is what this is really about. Okay. This is not just about the properties. The properties are a vehicle to help us get to all these things that we truly desire. So the three biggest multifamily home ownership hurdles are: one, the money, can I afford it? Then the market, am I too late? And then the mindset, is freedom even possible? So these are the hurdles that we have to get over tonight. And one, I'm going to show you how to finance the deal, okay? I'm going to show you how to find the deal. and then I'm going to show you how to finalize the deal. Just because you get a contract on a property doesn't mean that it's always going to get to close, okay? So there are strategies that you use to make sure that that deal gets to the closing room if it's a deal that you actually want. So by the end of this webinar, you'll have the foundation you need to finance, find, and finalize multifamily real estate deals. And I say this with 100% certainty, be able to live free. Literally to be able to live free, okay? And that is my goal tonight. Now, I want to overcome one big mental myth that a lot of people have is that you need a lot of money in order to get into multifamily real estate. I need to address that really quickly. You do not need a lot of money to get started in real estate, okay? On the right, you will see my actual tax return from 2012. This is my actual tax return. In 2012, I only made $35,000 as an entrepreneur. I started my company January 9th, 2009 at the bottom of the recession. So at times were challenging, but I only made $35,000. And remember, I bought my home in Brooklyn in 2013. So this is the tax return that they use to qualify me for that loan. Okay. Now the standards may have changed a little bit. You may need $45,000 in order to be in a good position right now, because you will need some savings. You do need money. Okay. You do need a little bit of money, but not as much as you think. So I got started in multifamily real estate when I wasn't making a lot of money. I got started in New York City, the most expensive market in the world. I got started while I was an entrepreneur, and I got started within 3 years of a recession. Okay. So if you think that, oh, I just don't make enough money, Julian, this can't happen. This is my actual tax return. This is what I was living off of at that time. And this is what they qualify. This is the tax return that they use, the W-2 that they use to qualify me for the loan that I ended up getting. Okay. So don't let that stop you from moving forward in multifamily real estate. So why this? Why now? Why did I wait to start teaching this until now? So what I realized is that we are in an economic time where rents are going to continue to rise. Okay. And eventually, as they continue to rise, they will rise too high for you to save. Every time rent rises, that's money that's not going to your savings, right? For a down payment. And while rents are rising and you're saving less, the price of housing is also going up. So there will actually come a point where you may never, ever, ever be able to buy a piece of real estate, right? Because rents are going to rise too high for you to save. And at the same time, the price of homes are going to rise too high for you to buy. And there will be a line where you may perpetually be a renter forever, unless you move into some sort of small market where you don't want to be, and there may not be jobs. Okay. So this is why this is so urgent right now for you to take action, or for you to move and actually go own something. Okay. But again, you have to buy right. You have to buy right. Okay. So when I'm talking about multifamily real estate, what am I actually talking about? In this conversation that we're having, I'm talking about 2 to 4 family homes. 2 to 4 family homes. Okay. There's a single family home, and then there's 2 to 4 family homes. There are only 2.6 million 2 to 4 family homes in the United States. And as you can see in the chart on the right, they only make up 18% of the entire rental stock in the United States. So they actually the smallest portion of the rental supply. So what we're looking for is a very rare asset. Now, why is this asset so valuable to you all tonight? It's because the same requirements that you would use to get finance for a single family home, which is part of the quote unquote American dream, which ends up becoming an American nightmare for people, the same requirements, the same guidelines, the same underwriting process for a single family home is the same process for a 2 to 4 family home. They all fit within the same financing criteria. So this is why this particular asset is so powerful. So why buy a single family home when you could just get a 2 to 4 family home first, and then use the rents from that multifamily home to buy the single family home that you desire? Once you get into a single family home, you've actually trapped yourself in a way because you wanted to own a home by a certain age. It's not your fault. For those of you who are homeowners, it's not your fault. Hopefully your home is appreciated drastically since you purchased it, but that is actually limiting you now from actually acquiring multifamily real estate. But you are not stuck. There are about 5 different ways to reverse yourself out of that situation. Okay. So when you buy multifamily real estate first, you can achieve rent and mortgage freedom typically with a 3 to 4 unit building. With a 3 to 4 unit multifamily piece of property, you can achieve rent and mortgage freedom. That's what I did. I did it with a triplex in Brooklyn. My first purchase was the moment where I stopped paying housing expenses forever. Okay. So we have to be able to find that property, get it financed, and then finalize that deal. Now, when it comes to multifamily real estate is actually the most proven business model of all time. When you think about the feudal system was created in 900 AD. Okay. And in the feudal system, if you remember from junior high school or high school, the Pope, the church, or God, or the king gave land to lords in exchange for their loyalty. So where do you think we get the word landlord from? We get the word landlord from the feudal system, okay? So this business model that we teaching you tonight has literally been around for what? 1100 years? 1100 years, okay? 1100 years. So this is the model that we're taking from. I can't promise you that Amazon's going to be around for 1100 years. I can't promise you that Google will be around for 1100 years. I cannot promise you that Apple will be around for 1100 years. But I do know that as long as there are human beings here on this planet, that multifamily real estate will be around for 1100 more years. And I want you to own some of that land, okay? Now, the beautiful thing about multifamily real estate is that it's recession proof, okay? It is recession proof. These gray areas that you see here are the economic recessions that we had in the United States. And what you see here, this blue line, is the average rents in the United States, okay? And what you'll find is that rents go up in the midst of a recession. Rents go up in the midst of recession. Why? Because those who bought single family homes, because they were chasing the American dream, if one person in that household loses their job, now they get foreclosed on, right? And what do they become? They become renters. And those who were going to go buy renting, but going to go buy a single family home soon, they end up staying renters because they're afraid. And so now the number of renters has increased, the demand for rental units has increased, but the supply hasn't changed. And when demand increases, but supply hasn't changed, what happens to price? Price goes up. Price goes up. So if you own a piece of multifamily real estate, if you own rental units, you actually get paid more in the midst of a recession than you would do outside of a recession. Okay, so that makes this asset recession proof. All right, so tonight is for you if you are a renter or single family home, I'll call you a home buyer, not a home owner, who wants to be receiving rents monthly instead of paying rent or mortgage to someone else. This is for you if you're committed to creating generational wealth for yourself and your family by having your money work for you instead of always working for it. And this is for you if you're willing to make the short-term sacrifices necessary to guarantee long-term financial gains. Okay. This is not for you if you were looking for a get-rich-quick scheme that appears to involve no risk whatsoever. As I told you before, multifamily real estate is get-rich-slow. I'm not promising you become a millionaire overnight, okay? If your credit score is below 500, you don't have a plan to save at least $10,000 because you're going to need that kind of money for a down payment, or you're not earning $40K per year, then you need to focus on those things first. I didn't say you have to have $10,000 saved right now. I said you at least need to have a plan to save $10,000, okay? It needs to be intentional. You need to have a separate account that you're putting money towards because you want this dream to be real for you. And this is not for you if you don't have a purpose greater than yourself or making money that drives you, such as your God or your kids or your legacy, okay? So I just want to be clear about who this is for. Now, my journey in real estate actually started in a negative way. It started in a negative way. This is the home that I grew up in Oakland, California. My mom bought this home after my parents divorced. And it's a 3-bedroom, a 2.5 bathroom. And it was just us. And it was a great neighborhood in Oakland, California. And my mom, she was a doctor. I'm the son of 2 doctors. I come from a lot of privilege. And I'm trying to take the silver spoon that was put in my mouth and use it to feed as many people as possible. And the thing about it is my parents were middle class, right? They were middle class. And what happened for my mother is that she ended up dealing with some mental health issues. And those mental health issues ended up throwing off her entire career. They literally derailed her entire career. And guess what happened to her income? Her income went down. And guess what happened when her income went down? She ended up losing this home, okay? Today, this home is worth $1.8 million. Me, as her only child, I'm supposed to be inheriting this home when she transitions. But as a result of the situation that occurred, as a result of relying on only one source of income, this home will be passed on to somebody else. It is in the name of someone else's family now, okay? So this was how my introduction to real estate began, okay? Now, the story doesn't end like that. It actually has a beautiful ending because about 6 months ago, I was able to actually purchase my mother a home here in New Orleans, Louisiana. It's actually a duplex. You can see that she lives on one side, and the rents from the other side actually pay for the entire mortgage. And so my mother is living rent-free, and this is not a mansion. When I bought this, I felt like a rapper or an athlete, right? But this is not a mansion. It's a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom that she lives in. But guess what? You know what my mom calls this space? She calls it her castle. That's what she calls it because it's exactly what she needs at this stage of her life. And I was able to do that because of the multifamily portfolio that I've been able to build. And now my mother is able to take the Social Security check that she gets and the fixed income that she's on, and she's able to have a decent life as opposed to living in the Bay Area at this particular time on fixed income. So this is the ending of that story, and it's just the beginning of mine. But this is the power of real estate. Real estate is not just about you earning money. This is about you being able to provide quality housing for other people. I hate slumlords, y'all. That is like my enemy. And our people have been renting from slumlords for way too long, who don't care about our people, who don't care about the conditions that they're living in, who are from other cultures. And so what I try to do is I try to upgrade the quality of living for all of my tenants. I have about 20% of my portfolio, I have Section 8 tenants, and I treat them well. I respond to any challenges that they're having, a leak in 24 hours, and make sure that it's fixed in 72 hours. I take care of the people that I'm housing. And today I house about 60 different people and about 27 different families, okay? This is the business that we're in. There are people out there who will teach you real estate, especially some of our Caucasian brothers. They'll teach you real estate in such a way where they actually want you to displace your own people. They just say, go in there and just raise the rents, and they put profit over people. I have a philosophy of ethical investing, and that is what I teach. I teach ethical investing. We are not kicking our own people out of their own neighborhoods. And so as I came into the New Orleans market, I was very intentional about how I treated the people who I was actually inheriting through the purchase of properties, right? And how I work with them to make sure that the rents work for everybody, because I was buying the home at a higher price than the old owner bought it. So my mortgage is greater than the old owner. So we had to increase rents, but we did it in a way that was ethical according to the consumer pricing index. All right. So I just want to be clear. There's other people who teach you real estate, but guess what? They'll have you kicking your own people out and pushing single mothers out further and further and further, so much so that they have to take the bus 45 minutes just to get to work. And now they don't even see their own kids. That is not the type of investment that we're going to do. Okay. That is not the type of investment that I teach. If you want that kind, you can go talk to Grant Cardone. You can go talk to all those other people out there. This is not what we're doing here. We are taking back our communities. We are curbing gentrification. Actually, we're curbing colonization. We've been calling colonization gentrification to make it soft. These people have been coming in and colonizing our communities. Colonizing is when you don't care about the people. You're trying to displace the people. Gentrification is when you're trying to uplift a community. The word has been co-opted. We have been getting colonized. We are actually trying to gentrify our communities. Go look at the definition. You'll see that we are gentrifying our communities. We are appreciating our communities, not trying to colonize them like some of our counterparts, okay? So you are a gentrifier. You are trying to make the community that you are in better, okay? So I just want to make that clear. All right. So real quick, sorry, I was in the pulpit for a second, y'all. I was in the pulpit for a second. So I want to ask for your permission really quick. If I give you some good stuff tonight, do I have your permission to take 10 minutes at the end to share opportunity for you to consider? If so, type yes in the chat. If so, type yes in the chat. If not, that's okay. If you're not interested whatsoever, I will let you know when I start sharing this opportunity, and you can log off. That's perfectly fine. This webinar is 100% free. I hope that I give you enough game to go take action. But if you are really committed to making this happen and accelerating the process, I would love to share an opportunity with you. All right, cool. Thank you so much. And I'll let you all know, okay? Again, for those of you who stay till the end, as I promised in my email, I'm actually going to give you a list of down payment assistance programs organized by state. So whatever state you're in, there is a list of down payment assistance programs that I'm going to send to you that you can use to go get some of that free money. Okay, so that'll help you mitigate some of the cost of the down payment, which is a hurdle for people. Now, how many of you have been on boring webinars? Type me. Type me if you've been on boring webinars. All right, so we're gonna have some fun tonight. It's gonna be a little bit of humor. It's gonna be a little bit of tough love, and it's gonna be some great information. All right. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kick off this webinar tonight with a little poetry. Y'all mind if I drop some poetry on y'all? You'll probably never heard no poetry on a webinar before. All right. So here's the deal. I understand multifamily real estate so in depth that I'm always seeking to figure out how to teach it to you better. And I know it's so in depth that I can actually turn it into rhyme. And so I'm going to share with you the multifamily poem. All right. Why don't we hack houses like frat houses where everyone living good for just a few thousand? Some will say it's lousy while they slaving proudly, spending 1/3 of their revenues to pay for housing. Living on your own, but you don't own ish. Can't even get a loan. Student debt is a thinking a high wage is the way to get rich. Not if your living expenses rise directly with it. Trying to keep up with the Joneses, deep in debt till you croak. I'm gonna live just like the Jeffersons, pretend that I'm broke. Then I'll buy a multifamily, let the rents pay the note. Perhaps you could be my tenant. Yo, that would be dope. I keep my cost of living low along with my blood pressure, because if you always stressing, it's hard to enjoy pleasure. The man with the most is not the one who wins the race. It's the man with his soul who can look at his own face. 40 acres and a mule is what they taught us in school. I'd rather have 40 apartments and a big money pool. Leverage credit to capital and capital to cash flow. Cash is not king because the interest too low. Some call me a do-gooder. I got good deeds in my name. As the Lord of my land, I'll never be a slave. You can dabble in stocks, lose your shirt and your socks, but the demand for housing will never ever stop. Assets, assets, assets. Passive, passive, passive. These are the two keys to amass wealth quick. But quick is really relative. It's a long-term game. Who you hustling for? Your first or your last name? Boom. Y'all with it? Y'all with it? So here's the reality. Every line in this poem has power. And at this moment in time, in this stage of your journey, many of you won't understand every single line in here. Like cash is not king because the interest too low. Y'all over here chasing cash. You know that cash is 70% cotton. You know that cash is money. The dollar bill is 70% cotton. Y'all still out here picking cotton. You picking cotton, but don't have any assets. All right. So the interest, and on top of that, cash is the lowest yielding asset in the entire world. You think you're rich because you got cash. Cash is the lowest yielding asset in the entire world. It's yielding 0.03% in your bank account. At 0.03%, it will take you 2,400 years to double your money sitting in cash. Okay? So you may not understand every single line here, but eventually one day I want you to. All right? So let's get into it. Myth number one, I can't afford multifamily real estate. Okay? So we need to change this mindset. And the truth is, we need to ask the question, how can I afford it? Okay? That's how valuable and how important this particular asset is. You're going to be paying for a place to live anyways. So why not it be a place that, why are you paying somebody else's mortgage instead of paying your own or having other people pay your mortgage? Okay? So we need to ask the question, how can I afford it? When you tell your subconscious mind, when you tell your conscious mind, I can't, that goes down to your subconscious mind, and your subconscious mind stops working for you. It turns off. You know your subconscious mind is going to be working for you even when you go to sleep tonight. Your subconscious mind stays on, just like many of you leave your computers on. Your subconscious mind stays on working for you. But the moment you tell it, I can't, you turn it off and it stops looking for solutions. Okay? So some of you told yourself that I can't afford real estate. It's too high, right? And you need to release that. So let's start with the monthly payment. Okay? Can you afford the monthly payment? Well, the average 2-bedroom in the United States is $1,225. Okay? Now, the average home in the United States costs $218,000, and at a 4.5% interest rate for 30 years with 0% down and $2,200 in taxes and insurance, that would be $1,288 per year. So literally, okay, literally, for $63 difference, you could actually own a home rather than paying rent for just $63 more. So you can make the monthly payment. And when you buy right in multifamily real estate, you actually won't even have a monthly payment. So this woman here, she sent me this email. She said, Julian, I love your online seminar. I really wish I could join, but being a single working mom right now is what is preventing me from pursuing my dreams. At this time, I pay $1,200 a month for 9 years, which is insane, for rent to a slumlord who never fixes anything. And if he does, it's used. Okay, so let's just run that math really quickly. 1,200 times 12 months times 9 years is $129,000. And that's not even including interest, y'all. This woman has paid a slumlord $129,000. So here's the deal. She is using this excuse that she's a single working mom right now, and that's what's stopping her. That's not what's stopping her. That's the victimization and excuse that she's using to not move on in her purpose. Because the reality is, how many of you could go find a new apartment for January 1st? How many of you could go find a new apartment for January 1st if you had a $1,200 budget? Anybody could. So that's not what's stopping her. She feels stuck in a situation that she doesn't have to be in. She could have found a new apartment long ago. She could have found a new apartment in year number 2 if she realized that there was a slumlord that she was working under, okay, or living under. And so we can't let our excuses and our victim stories stop us from taking action, because we put those things forward, but when we move those things out of the way, the reality is we could have made a different choice at that particular moment in time, okay? So answer me this. Renting this home long-term was the key to generational wealth. Who said this quote? Renting this home long-term was the key to generational wealth. Who said this quote? No one. Nobody. Nobody ever. Nobody ever said this quote. Okay? Nobody ever. So for those of you who are renting, we got to find a different way. We have to find a different way. There has to be a sense of urgency. So let me just put it to you this way, y'all. If you were actually, go ahead in chat, type your rent, how much rent you're paying right now. And for those of you who have a single family mortgage, type your mortgage payment. 1100, 1100, 800, 900, 1910, 1800, 1788, 1400, 1200, 3600, 23, 500, 600, 2200, 1260. Man, y'all could be my tenants, y'all. I don't want y'all to be tenants, but y'all paying out the yin yang. 3,800, that's a mortgage. It's got to be a mortgage. 830, 2,200. All right, so look at this. Let's just say that your rent was $1,000, okay? If you could actually, instead of paying that $1,000 to somebody else, instead, if you could actually change your life and buy a piece of real estate that allowed you to keep that $1,000 and actually invest it at 5% for the next 40 years, you realize that all of you would be millionaires. If you could invest instead of paying that $1,000 a month to somebody else, if you could invest that $1,000 at 5%, which is very conservative, every single month for the next 40 years, you would all have $1.5 million. Literally what I'm showing you is a path to being a guaranteed millionaire if you have the discipline. You say you want to be a millionaire? I'm giving you the exact blueprint and path. The numbers don't lie. This is not a luck thing. 5% return is like small. That's very conservative. If you could invest $1,000 a month at 5% for the next 40 years, you would all have $1.5 million 40 years from now. Now, I know some of you are here, you're older, you're like, Julian, I'm 60, I ain't got 40 years, I need to make this happen, I'm just trying to get ready for retirement. I understand, but I'm just showing you the math and the numbers, okay? And so this is why we have to get that rent expense off of your books, right? And we have to get that money working for you and on your behalf. So for those of you who are renters, I'm gonna come at you for a second and I'm gonna give you a little bit of tough love, right? Know that love is a noun and tough is the actual adjective, okay? Love is a noun. I'm coming from a place of love, but you're gonna have to hear me out at this moment in time. For those of you who are renting, I need you to accept for the fact that you are all homeless. All of you who are renting, you are homeless, okay? So the next time you have a dinner party, some of you inviting people over for the holidays, on your invitation, before you send out your invitation, don't say, come over to my house. Don't say, come over to my house. Say, come over to Tom's house. Come over to Mary's house. That's who I've been renting from for the past 9 years. Come over to their house. That's where I stay at. That's where I'm located at. Come to Tom's house, okay? Stop calling it my house, because here's what happens. When you call it my house, because some of you getting very comfortable. You painting the walls, you doing the front lawn, you taking out the garbage, right? You're doing all kinds of stuff to beautify this other person's space. You were supposed to be renting for a temporary period until you could step into ownership, but you've gotten comfortable as a renter. You've gotten comfortable. And what happens is when you start calling it my house, guess what? Your subconscious mind is like, oh, we got a house. We comfortable. We safe. But for a moment, I told you I believe in the power of the word I am. I need you to accept the fact and say, I am homeless. Because I need you to trigger your survival mechanisms by your subconscious mind recognizing that you are actually homeless. You don't have a home at this moment in time. Okay? Now, here's the thing. Here, all of you have the internet, you have a computer, you have education, most of you have jobs, yet there's homeless people out there in your neighborhood right now who have mental health issues, who have been through the hardest times in life, who are sleeping on the bus bench. And how is it that the person who is sleeping on the bus bench has as many keys to a home as you do? How does this person sleeping on the bus bench have as many keys to a home as you do, with all this education, with all this good work ethic, with all this good upbringing, with the internet, with the computer in front of you? How is that the case? And you're in your 30s, you're in your 40s, you're in your 50s. That does not make any sense whatsoever. So just for a second, I need you to recognize that you are homeless. And we're only doing that to activate your survival mechanism, because you have to get into a place of urgency. You know what? For everybody who is renting right now, you know what I wish for you? I wish you more rats and more roaches. I wish you more rats and more roaches this holiday season, because that's probably the only thing that's going to make you uncomfortable. You've gotten too comfortable in renting. I wish you more rats and more roaches, because if you see more rats and more roaches, I think you'll get up off your butt and actually go do something different. All right? So again, this is just tough love, y'all, because I got to call it how I see it. You are homeless. By definition, you are homeless. You don't have a home. You're using somebody else's home. All right? Now, for those of you who are single-family home buyers, I got to come at y'all too. Y'all ain't safe. Y'all ain't safe over here in this webinar, okay? So here's the deal. If you're a single-family buyer, you think, oh, I don't pay rent anymore, this and that. But let's look at it. For a single-family buyer, you have your mortgage. 70% of your first mortgage payment was an interest expense. It wasn't even going to principal. So you have all that interest expense. Then you have property taxes. Then you have insurance. Then you have all your utilities. Then you have any maintenance that occurs. So in fact, for those of you who have single family homes, some of you pay more expenses in terms of housing per month than somebody who's renting. And you have this little amount that's going to your principal every single month, okay? So listen to this. For those of you who are single family buyers, the truth is that you don't own anything. The truth is that the bank buys your home and then it rents it to you for 30 years, and the interest on a $300,000 home with 3.5% down at 4% is $208,000. That's the interest that you're paying to the bank over 30 years. You know what that's equivalent to? That's equivalent to $578 a month in rent to the bank. It's not called rent, it's called interest, but it averages out to be $578 per month. And I have not accounted for your PMI, not accounted for your utilities, your taxes, your insurance, your maintenance. When you add all that stuff in, you're probably paying more as an expense, money going out of your pocket. You're probably paying more than those who are renting. You were sold the American dream. It's not your fault. You got caught up. Nobody told you. I'm here to tell you. You're not stuck. There are a couple ways out that I will show you, but many of you got caught up. And some of you like, oh, but Julian, my house appreciated this and that. That's great. If your house appreciated, you know what? All it's really accounting for is the interest. If your house appreciated, all it's really going to pay for is this interest that you were paying to the bank anyways. That's not money in your pocket. It's just covering the interest that you were going to have to pay to the bank. Are y'all understanding this? So we have to stop renting and we have to stop buying single family homes first. So I don't have a single family home. Can I get a single family home now using the rents that I'm getting? Yes, but you do not get a single family home first. That is part of the trap. In fact, most people stay in their jobs because they are tied to their single family home. They don't want to miss a mortgage payment. So they stay stuck in a job that they hate because of this 30-year mortgage. Okay? So ain't nobody safe. All shots fired. Shots have been fired, all right? Shots have been fired. Okay? I got to get y'all thinking differently. And sometimes it takes shock in order to do that. All right. So if you can pay rent, you can own a single family home. But this webinar is not about owning single family home. Okay. If you don't want to pay rent or mortgage ever again for the rest of your life, you can own a multifamily home. It's that simple. It's that simple. It's just, I call it the above ground railroad because it's just been so obvious It's right in front of us. You driving past multifamily real estate every single day on your way to work, but we just can't see it for ourselves. And so we got to get on the other side of the equation. Okay. So financial freedom, according to Robert Kiyosaki, defines financial freedom as the moment when your passive income is greater than your cost of living. When your passive income is greater than your cost of living. Many of you are doing great and making great active income, but the moment you stop, the moment something happens to you, you get fired or you stop working, your income shoots down to zero. At this moment in time, I'm not a multimillionaire yet. But guess what? I could stop working right now if I decided to, because my passive income is greater than my cost of living. You do not have to even be a millionaire to be free. All you have to do is have your passive income be greater than your cost of living. My cost of living is about $5,500 a month. That accounts for me and my daughter, okay? and my passive income from multifamily real estate, which I don't have to work for, is greater than that amount of money. So I could stop right now if I decided to, but I've chosen to give. Okay. So this is where we need to get to. You've been focused on trying to increase your active income. Now, in order to create wealth, you do need your active income. You need to be employed as an employee or entrepreneur, and you need to take that income, right? Take that money, and you need your money to be employed. Some of you are employed right now, but your money is unemployed. Some of you are employed right now, but your money is unemployed. This is why you're still not free. You need to be employed as an employer or entrepreneur, and then your money needs to also be employed. It needs to be out in the world working for you. I got thousands of Benjamins out in the world working for me. That's my employee's name. I got thousands, and they're out there working for me, bringing me back more what? George Washingtons. Okay? It's all about the Benjamins, baby. Okay? You want them out in the world working for you every single day. Some of you are letting your Benjamins sleep in a bank account, being unproductive. They're being lazy, just flipping through TV channels, and they're not producing anything for you. In fact, they're actually losing value because of inflation. Okay? So we have to change our mindset. Now, the down payment. Okay, the down payment. Some of you are like, Julian, but that down payment though, I can't save for that. I'm already living paycheck to paycheck. Well, guess what? 76% of Americans live in paycheck to paycheck. It's not just a black thing. Okay, this whole system is set up. They don't care what color you are anymore. What people don't recognize is that they try to make everybody slaves. It's not just a racial thing anymore. They try to make everybody slaves. Okay, so when it comes to the down payment, some of you didn't believe that it was possible, and guess what? There are literally programs out there. Some of them that I'm going to send you, that there is no down payment, no closing costs, no points or fees, no credit score consideration. But because you told yourself that you couldn't afford it, you couldn't even see this program. This program could have came by you on a bus, it could have came by you on an infomercial or whatnot, but you wouldn't have seen it because you just didn't believe. You know how they say I have to see it to believe it? No, you have to believe it to see it. You have to believe it to see it. It's backwards, okay? So these men, these are not stock photos. These are people that I actually know. Mark, he owns a duplex in Inglewood, California. Kazi and Nefra and Jubilee, they own a fourplex in Los Angeles, right near USC. And then Kevin and his family, they own a double in Brooklyn, New York. Okay, and they all went through this program that required no down payment, no closing costs, no points or fees, no credit score consideration. So I want you to be clear that your intellectual property, what you know, can actually manifest itself as physical property. Your intellectual property can manifest itself as physical property. So you need to do better at developing your intellectual property, because that's how you actually make things tangible and turn them into physical property. So say you wanted to buy this duplex that I have here in New Orleans. This one cost me $300,000, okay? Because of the FHA program, which is a government program, you could control, remember you don't own it, you could control this asset with just a 3.5% down payment using an FHA loan. So 3.5% on a $300,000 purchase price is $10,500. So you could control this entire asset for just $10,500, okay? So the other thing I want to share with you is that a lot of people think that multifamily real estate is more expensive than single family real estate. Watch this, y'all. This is a double that I own in Oakland, California. According to Zillow, it is worth $589,000, okay? Now, I went and searched for single family homes of the same square footage in the same neighborhood. And look at this, y'all. The single family homes, 705, 650, 851. The single family homes with the same square footage cost more than the multifamily home that I have that actually pays me. Why is that? Because so many people are caught up in the American dream. The demand for the single family homes is higher than the demand for a multifamily home. People don't want to live in one side and share a wall with somebody else, even though they're living rent free. So let everybody else sleep, and you don't just say I'm woke, you actually take woke action. Like you actually, what do they call it? Sleepwalking when you sleep? Well, what is it? Woke walking? What do we want to call it? We want to make up a word? I'm woke walking. I'm not just woke and just talking about all these things woke. I'm actually woke walking. I'm alive. I'm alive, okay? That's what we want to do. We want to take action. We don't just want to be woke, be able to talk about stuff and debate stuff and still be broke and poor. That's not what we want. We want to use the knowledge that we have. We want to turn our intellectual property into physical property. We want to turn our intellectual property into manifestation, okay? So the multifamily math, okay? The multifamily math. Check this out. If I told you that I found an ATM machine that would eliminate your $1,000 a month rent expense forever, and on top of that, give you an extra $90 in cash every month, guaranteed, all you have to do is pay $10,500 one time. Would you give up or go get the money? In chat, let me know. Would you give up or go get the money? Would you give up or go get the money? An ATM machine that would pay your $1,000 a month rent every single month forever and give you $90 cash on top of that. Would you give up or go get the money? Okay, so we have no quitters here. This is good. Well, check this out, y'all. Here's the ATM machine. You just couldn't see it. It doesn't look like an ATM machine at the bodega or at the bank, but here is the ATM machine. This home cost $300,000. I told you with a 3.5% down payment, that's $10,500. The rents on this property, these 2 units, are $1,600 each. That's $3,200. The mortgage is $1,259. The taxes and insurance are $335. The CapEx, repair reserves, and vacancy rates, which are 3 numbers that I'll have to teach you later, would be $515. So the cash flow on this property would be $1,090. The cash flow will be $1,090. This is an ATM machine. It just doesn't look like what you know an ATM machine to be. But this is an ATM machine that I own. And you know what makes this property so special to me? Guess what? I told you this is about people, not just profits. This home houses 9 women who are recovering from alcoholism, just like my mother. This home houses 9 women who are recovering from alcoholism, just like my mom. This is not just about making profit. It's about providing quality housing for people who need it and deserve it. So you can make money and do good at the same time, y'all. Okay? And that's what I want to show you. All right? So answer me this. What other business can you buy for $300,000 with only $10,500 down and get financed for the other $289,000 in 30 to 45 days that immediately cash flows in 30 days and succeed with minimal time, effort, and experience? Please tell me. And the answer is none. 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 You want to be an entrepreneur? Start off by being a real estate entrepreneur. It'll free you up to be the entrepreneur that you truly want to be because you never have to worry about a housing expense again. There's no other business where that's going to finance you $300,000 for 3.5% down in 30 to 45 days that will immediately cash flow. Then after that, and you only need a little bit of time, effort, and experience in order to succeed. I've not found one to date. Crack house and strip club or stripper. That's what 2 people put in the chat. All right. So this is why you got to get in the game. Now, I want to be clear that there's a difference between buying multifamily real estate and single family real estate. Okay. In order to evaluate a multifamily real estate deal, there are 23 numbers that you have to know. There are 23 numbers that you have to know. When it comes to buying single family real estate, you say, what did I get approved for? And does this house cost less than what I got approved for? And do I like the house? That's it. 3 things. For multifamily real estate, there's 23 numbers. This is a financial model that I built out over the past 6 years that helped me evaluate a deal in less than 10 minutes. And over here in the lower right, you see where it says purchase, purchase, purchase. I do not make emotional decisions when it comes to multifamily real estate. It's all based on economics. And so once I plug in these numbers, this tells me to purchase or pass on this deal. No emotion whatsoever, okay? So there's 23 numbers that you have to know. And because I have this financial model, I'm able to do the math in 10 minutes. I'm able to send a text message to my agent, and within 15 minutes, I have an offer submitted to the seller, right? The only thing that beats a cash offer is a fast offer. The only thing that beats a cash offer is a fast offer, okay? So that's myth number 1. Myth number 2, I missed my opportunity. Some of you feel like you're in cities like New York or the Bay or Oakland, California, and you just missed the wave. It's too late for you. It's too far gone. And here's the reality when it comes to real estate, and this is why I love real estate. You don't miss opportunities. You create opportunities. There's no one deal that you miss. Oh, I missed that house. I should have bought it. I walk by it every single day. There's no one deal that you miss. Real estate is being sold in up economies and down economies. Real estate is being sold all the time. And there's ways to structure deals differently that make something a deal versus doesn't make it a deal. So you actually, once you learn the game, get to create opportunities with real estate. First thing you have to do is be able to see those opportunities, okay? So many of you have been caught up in HGTV. That's the new home channel. It's not new, but it's out there. And I call it HGTV foolishness. And I just want to be clear that your first investment property probably won't look like anything on HGTV whatsoever. None of my homes, none of my 27 doors look anything like anything you see on HGTV, okay? So HGTV is training your eyes to look for the wrong things. They're training you to look for your dream home. But right now, we're not looking for our dream home yet. We're looking for an investment property. So a lot of you watching shows like the Property Brothers, and I just say, screw the Property Brothers, okay? Look, I'm your new property brother with an A, right? And I'm gonna keep it real with you about real estate. So you have to let me know, what's more important to you? You want granite countertops or guaranteed cash flow? Which one do you want? You want granite countertops or guaranteed cash flow? Which one do you want? Because I'm not clear. The way some of y'all are moving and behaving, it looks like y'all want some granite countertops. I want guaranteed cash flow, and that guaranteed cash flow will be able to buy me whatever granite countertops that I desire, okay? So let me show you my first home in Brooklyn, okay? It's not a traditional brownstone, right? It has siding, right? It has brick on the front only. It has what they call linen white paint. The floors are nice. No stainless steel appliances. That's a white kitchen stove with a white refrigerator. The only thing that's stainless steel is the sink. The dishwasher is white, okay? So this was not my dream home. This was not my dream home. But guess what? This home made my dreams possible. Are you clear on the difference? This was not my dream home, but this home made my dreams possible. It's a sequence, y'all. It's a sequence. And some of you are so impatient because you're trying to check off these boxes on the American dream and trying to check them off faster than the person next to you. And it's got you caught up running down the wrong road too fast. Okay, so let's be clear. Look at this. Single family HGTV buyers, they're looking for granite countertops. Multifamily investors, they're looking for guaranteed cash flow. Single family buyers, they're buying based on emotion. Multifamily investors buy based on economics. Single family buyers, they're looking to buy their dream home. Multifamily investors, they're looking for an asset that will pay for their dream home. Single family buyers, they're looking for a place to raise their kids. Multifamily investors, they're looking for a place to raise their net worth. Single family buyers are looking for a place to call home. Multifamily investors are looking for a place for other people to call home. Single family buyers are looking for open concept. Multifamily investors, they're looking to open the possibilities in their life. Single family buyers are looking for a finished basement. Multifamily investors, they're looking to start building wealth. You're trying to get a finished basement or start building wealth. Which one is it, y'all? Which one is it? Okay. So when it comes to the multifamily map, there are actually different ways to see real estate, okay? A lot of you are looking on Trulia and Zillow for multifamily real estate. Trulia and Zillow are great for single family homes, okay? They are not the place to go for multifamily real estate, okay? In fact, any deal that when you are searching on Trulia and Zillow, you're being a lazy investor, right? Because guess what? The moment the property hits Trulia and Zillow, now everybody else is seeing that deal at the same time, and the price only skyrockets. In fact, the research from Reonomy says that mass market listings regularly command a 30% premium to off-market deals, okay? So you actually want to be able to get off-market deals, and I want to show you how to get off-market deals coming to you every single day from wholesalers, from your agent, from your relationships, from your personal network. You want off-market deals to be coming to you daily. Every single day, I get text messages of off-market deals, okay? I come here last. This is the last place I go to look for deals, okay? So you have to develop the 4 eyes of real estate. Yeah, John, I see you put in LoopNet.com. LoopNet, it has multifamily deals, but guess how many investors have seen those deals before it hits LoopNet, okay? Let me teach here tonight, y'all. If you don't own 10 homes or not, let me teach here tonight, okay? All right? LoopNet is the same thing. If there's a deal on LoopNet, there's probably 10 to 15 investors who saw that deal and passed up on it before it hit LoopNet, okay? All right, so 4 eyes for real estate. You have to have eyes for the market. Is that market expanding or is it contracting? You have to have eyes for the neighborhood. You need to be able to see the list of 30 different signs of gentrification. I literally have a checklist of 30 signs of gentrification that you just go into a neighborhood and you look for to know if that neighborhood's about to turn or not. Then you have eyes for the property. When I go into property, you know I'm not looking at granite countertops. I'm looking for hidden value and I'm looking for hidden cost, right? And I have a checklist of hidden value. I have a checklist of hidden cost that I'm looking for to evaluate a property. Let everybody else be wooed by the stainless steel appliances and stuff like that. Stainless steel appliances are not expensive. Granite countertops are really not that expensive, okay? What's expensive is when you see termites behind the wall, but everybody's so fixated on the granite countertops that they don't see the termites up there in the upper right-hand corner. That's what's expensive, okay? And then you have to have eyes for the deal, okay? I have to have eyes for the deal. One property could have 3 deals structured in 3 different ways, and one deal makes sense, and the other way that the deal is structured doesn't make sense. So you have to learn how to have eyes for the deal, okay? Now, do you need a good real estate agent? Yes, I have great real estate agents, but what you really need is a real estate advisor. Here's the problem with real estate agents. One, they don't think like investors, and here's how you know. Go ask your real estate agent how many multifamily homes do they own. If they own 0, then they're not going to be able to think like an investor. Go ask your real estate agent to calculate cash on cash return. This is the single most important metric when it comes to evaluating multifamily real estate. Most real estate agents don't know how to calculate it. Why? Because it's not on the real estate exam. Real estate agents, they mostly sell single family homes to American dreamers. They mostly sell single family homes to American dreamers. And on top of that, the higher the price you have to pay, the more they get in commission, which is kind of twisted, right? And on top of that, they're just going to put you on some email list that everybody is getting, okay? So you need a good real estate agent. Here's what you need them for. You need them to be able to submit your offer. You need them to be able to get comparable prices for you and rents. You need them because they may know contractors and be able to handle inspections. And they can help you find your first tenant, and they know neighborhoods really well, so you can get information. They're like spies, okay? So you don't just need a good agent. Some of you just like, oh, you gave your agent your dream list and your criteria, and they send you emails every day that you don't even look at, right? This is not how the multifamily real estate game is played. Maybe for single family buyers, but not multifamily, okay? So real estate agents actually come to me to get educated on this game. I've actually educated my real estate agents so that they can go find better deals for me, okay? This person said, my name is blank. I've been following your videos recently. I'm getting back into real estate, but as an investor instead of an agent, the information I learned wasn't as nearly as much as I've learned by following you. You don't have to know what I'm teaching you. You don't learn on a real estate exam, okay? You do not learn this on a real estate exam, okay? So I just want to be clear about that. So myth number 3, I need to pay down my debt first. Now, this is going to give some of y'all a headache. Okay, I told you it's about mindset. And some of you are so caught up watching Dave Ramsey and trying to ring that bell, and you want to say you're debt free, and you're really cutting off your legs when it comes to your ability to build wealth. You do not want to pay down your debt first. And I'm going to pause there. You want to buy an asset that will pay down your debt first. You shouldn't be paying down your debt. You want to acquire assets with any cash or resources that you have. You want to acquire assets that pay down your debt. You do not want to be the person that's paying down your debt. Does this sound counterintuitive for some of y'all? No, I want to be debt-free, Julian. Okay, you go ahead and take that path. It's going to take you a lot longer to get to where you're trying to go. You know, when you look at the word mortgage, like mortician, mortgage, the literal meaning of the word mortgage is death pledge. It's death pledge. Okay, so for those of you who bought single family homes, you signed into a death pledge. The bankers, they literally messing with y'all. They like, what do we want to call this thing? It's this 30-year note that we created. We're gonna make the interest rate look like it's really low, but over 30 years, we know that they're literally gonna be paying us a lot of money. What do we want to call it? I mean, it's really a death pledge, but let's use some more creative language. How about we use the Latin roots of it? It's mortgage. They'll never know. Many of y'all signed up for a death pledge, okay? Now, Robert Kiyosaki, what did he say? An asset, what is an asset? An asset has value, produces income, or appreciates, and has a ready market. Assets put money into your pocket, okay? So given that, please tell me, when does a single family home put money into your pocket? Single family home never puts money into your pocket unless you sell it. And once you sell it, you have no place to live. Guess what? Even after you paid off the mortgage, guess what? You still have property taxes and insurance to pay. And now that you paid off the mortgage, the home is how old? Type in chat. How old is the home after you paid off the mortgage, y'all? How old is the home? It's 30 years old. What happened to a 30-year-old home, y'all? What's the M word that happened to a 30-year-old home? Maintenance. Maintenance. So your maintenance becomes your mortgage. You think, oh, I paid off my mortgage. Nope, property taxes, insurance, and now you have maintenance on a 30-year-old home. This is why it's a trap, y'all. It's a trap, okay? So here's what you really want to do. There's bad debt versus good debt. A lot of you have bad debt right now. Student debt, credit cards, and single family mortgage. Yep, that's bad debt. They call student loans good debt. Student loans is the only debt that you can never file bankruptcy for, okay? It's all bad debt, okay? You want to have good debt. So you acquire good debt to pay off bad debt. So if you buy a multifamily piece of real estate, now the fact that you're not paying rent, you can use that to pay your student loans. Then you can take any cash flow that you're getting to pay your single family mortgage. And then the tax savings that you're getting from being able to depreciate this asset over 27.5 years, then you take those tax savings and you pay off your credit cards. So you want to acquire good debt to pay off your bad debt. This is counterintuitive. You're like, Julian, you want me to acquire more debt? Yep. I want you to acquire good debt though. Good debt. Good debt is debt that pays for itself. Good debt is debt that pays for itself and some. I have tons of debt, y'all. But the assets that I've acquired with those debt is, one, the cash flow from those assets pays for the debt, and all those assets have appreciated. I could have not have done this if I just relied on saving up money $1 at a time to go acquire property. You need to have more good debt, okay? So multifamily real estate is the most proven business model of all time, okay? I've showed you that. It's been here since the feudal system, 1,100 years. It's going to be here 1,100 more years as long as we as human beings are here. The most valuable thing on earth, one of the most valuable things on earth is a piece of earth. And you should own real estate. You should own the land beneath you, and you should own the improvement that is above it, as well as the air rights, the mineral rights, all that stuff that comes with owning real estate, okay? Now, tonight, we've only talked about the cash on cash return. But guess what? Multifamily real estate, it has 4 benefits. It has cash flow, it has tax savings, principal pay down, and appreciation. The cash on this property, this actual property that I have, that I talked about tonight, the cash flow over 30 years on this property will be $638,000. My tenants will pay me $638,000 over 30 years, okay? The tax savings on that I will have, literally money that I did not have to pay the IRS over 30 years, will be $278,000, over $250,000 just because of one single property, y'all. Saved in taxes, okay? Then principal pay down, my tenants will be paying down the debt, which is $225,000 for me because I had to put 25% down on the $300,000 home. And if this home appreciates by 1%, one measly percent every single year for the next 30 years, that'll be another $104,000. So this single purchase will have changed the financial trajectory of my family by $1.2 million. Most people don't know how to calculate this, y'all. This is the value of multifamily real estate. You can see that the cash flow only makes up 50% of the value. There's all this other stuff that most people don't even talk about that I know how to calculate to show you the value of one single purchase. This is the game, y'all. This is the game. And why I can see why it's not being taught, so that other people can go get ahead. And I'm giving you the game here and now. So whatever you do, try to buy first and foremost where you currently live. For me, that was in Brooklyn, so I bought in Brooklyn. If that doesn't work, then you want to buy where you're from. For me, I'm from Oakland, so I bought in Oakland. And if that doesn't work, then you want to buy in a place where you want to be a contribution. For me, that was New Orleans. Okay, some of you are in some more mature markets. It's going to be hard to find property there. The only way you'll win in that market is through research and relationships. You'll have to be a better researcher, and you'll have to have stronger relationships. If you're trying to get a property in New York or the Bay Area right now, the only way you're not going to find it on Trulia and Zillow. I'm just letting you know that right now. It's going to have to be research and relationships. Okay, so there's a lot of talk online about securing the bag. Well, here's how you secure the bag. You secure the bag by securing a building, and then that will secure your housing. That will secure your retirement, and it will secure your legacy. Look, y'all, I could stop right now and I'll be fine. I don't have to work another day in my life if I desire not to. but I have a purpose that's way beyond just making money. If something happened to me and I was no longer living tomorrow, my daughter should be straight for the rest of her life. 30 years from now, she will have over $20,000 in positive cash flow when she's 35. She'll listen to this, y'all. This is just unimaginable to me. And this is why my middle class parents, even though they were doctors, they couldn't provide this for me. At the age of 35, my daughter will have over $20,000 in positive cash flow every single month doing nothing. My middle class parents, as doctors, they couldn't provide that for me, right? So this is the difference between poverty mindset, middle class mindset, and the wealthy mindset. It's a completely different plane, all right? So earlier, you all gave me permission. You said if I rocked, I could share an opportunity with you. Let me know if I got the green light to do that. For those of you who are not interested in the opportunity, you can sign off right now. I want to thank you for being here and your presence. I hope that this information blessed you. I hope that it's actionable enough for you to go do something with it. Please, I don't like to waste people's time, and I'm here for your transformation. So if you're going to sign off, I wish you the best, and thank you so much for your time. For those of you who are interested in accelerating this process and making this happen as quickly as possible as we head into 2020, then I will like to share this opportunity with you. Okay? So, great. So here's the deal. If you're like me, I know that you're here because you want generational wealth, passive income, and you want more freedom. And I know because that was me too. Now, there are many ways that you've heard of to make money in real estate, right? There's apartment buildings, there's real estate agent, industrial, mobile homes, tax liens. You hear a lot about wholesaling, new construction. Most wholesalers ultimately want to own multifamily real estate. So just skip that step unless you're trying to get some quick cash, but it's not really quick. You got to do a lot of research and a lot of cold calling for wholesaling. Property management, foreclosures, vacation rentals, fix and flip, multifamily, and commercial. So there's many different ways to make money in real estate. My expertise, my deep dive, where I can take you to the depths of the deepest depth, is multifamily real estate. How to find, finalize, and finance a multifamily real estate deal, okay? Now, I wanna make sure that you buy right, because you could go buy a piece of multifamily real estate off of Zillow right now and get burned, okay? Meaning that you don't know the 1% rule, right? Which is a back of an envelope calculation that we use to evaluate even if a deal is worth doing due diligence on. So I wanna make sure that you buy right, and buying right means that the deal has 10% plus cash on cash return, that the cash flow is greater than $600 per month, right? That there's immediate equity the moment you acquire it, and that it has definite appreciation potential. This is what I teach. I teach you how to buy right so that you do not get burned. You can go overpay for a multifamily piece of real estate and say, look at me, I own multifamily real estate. I have 4 doors, but your cash flow is negative because you didn't know how to actually do the due diligence properly, okay? I wanna make sure that you buy right. So in case you came late, here's my portfolio. This is 10 homes, Oakland, Brooklyn, New Orleans, 27 doors, 13.88% cash on cash return, 30% appreciation, $29.2 thousand in monthly revenue, and $3.6 million in value if I decided to liquidate it all right now, okay? And I've taken everything that I've learned after doing this and acquiring this, and I put that into what I call the Multifamily Masterplan, which is a 12-week experience that I created for you that it goes through everything that we just discussed and a lot more to accelerate how quickly you're able to buy a multifamily home the right way. That gives you rent freedom for those of you who are renters, and or positive cash flow that pays another debt like your mortgage, student loans, credit card, or medical bills if you already own a single family home. Okay, so the way this program is structured is that there's module 1, it's just finance it. Module 2, find it. Module 3, finalize it. Module 4, fix it. Module 5, fill it. Okay, these are the 5 steps. Right. Module 1, I'm going to show you no to low money down programs and grants you can use to get started without a huge savings. I'm going to show you what exactly your lender is looking for, the key numbers and ratios that you need to be aware of to get finance. Quick credit fixes to improve your credit score and keep your interest rate down and save tens of thousands of dollars. Literally, a 0.25% change in your interest rate can save you tens of thousands of dollars, okay? I'm going to show you FHA loans debunked, the dark side that people don't tell you beyond it only being 3.5% down. Why you must shop for lenders first. A lot of y'all are shopping on Trulia and Zillow for homes, and you're not even pre-approved yet. Go shop for lenders first, and don't just do the big banks that you have your savings account at who are burning you. Those are the banks that are robbing you. Go shop for lenders first, okay? Why you should go as big as possible on your first multifamily deal as long as it makes sense, okay? Then find it. I'm going to show you how to find great deals in your backyard, literally. My first deal, literally, I was renting on Fulton Street in Brooklyn. I was going to the post office one day and I saw balloons and I walked around the corner and the property that I ended up buying shares a backyard with the property that I was renting from. So there are literally deals in your backyard. I found my first deal literally in my backyard, okay? But you just don't know how to see them yet. You don't have the 4 eyes of real estate. I train your eyes. I train your eyes for how to identify deals, okay? And then we go inside and we do the numbers. So how to use the internet and the specific websites you need to know. I'm not talking Trulia or Zillow to find and do due diligence. How to evaluate a deal in another state if you're investing from a distance. Why the asking price does not matter. The real metrics that make a deal worth it or not. And the people and the tools you need in place to get off-market deals coming to you daily. That's the key, right? Off-market deals are where you're able to get steep discounts. Then finalize it. The 23 numbers you need to truly evaluate whether to purchase or pass on a real estate opportunity. I showed you some of those numbers in the webinar. How to quickly evaluate a deal in 10 minutes or less so that you can get your offer in before anyone else. The 4 most overlooked numbers that can make or break your deal. How to never pay at or above asking price and get it reduced to whatever you desire without worrying about the seller walking away. And then the 5 ways to exit any deal if the numbers aren't adding up or something doesn't feel right, okay? Then fix it. The 10 types of contractors you need to have and trust in and on speed dial once the deal is in motion, not after you've acquired the property. You need to have these contractors on speed dial the moment you put in your offer, okay? How to vet your team beyond using Yelp or Angie's List and the questions to ask and the things to look for. Walk, crawl, climb, everything you must do, ask, and look for during the inspection process. First things first, what are your the very first things you need to do once you have the keys? Hint, it is not move in. Fix it or nix it, what you should fix immediately and what can wait for later until your home starts cash flowing. And then finally, fill it. You're a landlord now. How do you immediately lay the new ground rules for existing tenants, especially with ones who don't align with how you desire to live? How do you find great tenants fast if you have vacant units that need to be filled? What you need, who you need, and where to post? You're going to get my free sample lease. You're going to get long distance investing secrets, how to manage your investment properties without actually being there, and the top 20 markets to invest in, okay? So like I said before, I've done this for other people. This is the Roll family, and they own a 4-family in Los Angeles near USC. They said Julian's journey has always been an inspiration to my wife and I. We didn't think we were ready, but Julian helped us see that we were. Now we own a 4-plex in Los Angeles that is already appreciated and generates enough cash flow for my wife and I to both step into entrepreneurship full time while still being financially responsible parents to our 1-year-old daughter, Jubilee. This is the Campbell family. Patrice wrote this. She said, my issue was that I had a rental property that wasn't cash flowing because I didn't buy right, as Julian always says. Thanks to the coaching, we came up with a strategy to sell that property and leverage it up into a multifamily unit using a 1031 exchange. We found a real estate attorney to transfer the rental property out of my name and into the LLC. Now that we've corrected our real estate wrongs and have a cash flowing Airbnb in Charlotte, which Julian taught me how to scale quickly, and a multifamily where we live mortgage free in one of the 2 units. Okay. Dante, my fastest student to close. Dante joined August 15th. I posted this deal in the group because I actually post deals that I find here in New Orleans. I post them in the group for other people to move on. He joined, went after this deal, got the contract, closed on September 19th. So Dante acquired his first piece of multifamily real estate in 34 days from joining, okay? And then a lot of that was just closing in the underwriting process. Jackie, she joined on July 4th, closed on October 31st. She closed on 2 different properties, 2 different properties from the same seller. One was a 3-family and one was a single family at a great discount. This is Spencer. Spencer joined August 5th, closed on November 2nd on his property in Cleveland, Ohio, which he is going to BRRRR. And then Jason, he joined on July 5th, closed on November 15th. When he came, we went to the Whitney Plantation here to learn about the history of slavery and how our freedom was taken. And at the same time, we are also getting him more free. And he acquired this property here, which is not too far from my home. It's a nice double that has the opportunity to be turned into a triplex. So these are just some of the success stories of my students who have gone through this program and this curriculum and their ability to find deals. So this curriculum, if I was going to sell it right now, it would be $1,999. This is less than you would pay your real estate agent for submitting your offer and negotiating the deal for you. But today I'm going to do something crazy, which is I'm going to show you how you can get this program for absolutely free. Okay, I'm going to show you how you can get it for free. I repeat, I'm going to show you how you can get this for free. All right. Now, I'm sure you're wondering, Julian, what is the catch? What do you mean? Well, here's all you have to do. Okay. Here's all you have to do. All you have to do to get access to this program for free is join the Multifamily Movement Mastermind, which is committed to creating freedom and generational wealth through real estate. My mission is to help 300 people or families acquire cash flow positive multifamily home within 6 months of being pre-approved. Okay. So what I mean by you get the program for free, it's kind of like a gym membership. When you pay for the gym membership, you get access to all the equipment for free. I've been teaching online through the Freedom School for over a decade now. And what I realized is that I can no longer give my gold away for free in that way without giving the accountability. I'm not here for the transfer of information. I'm actually here for your transformation. And what I found is that research shows that only 7% of people complete online courses when left up to their own devices. So what I'm actually offering you tonight is the accountability to implement all of this information that I've structured and laid out for you. This information is free out on the internet. You can go find it. You can try to Google it, YouTube it, piece it together from here, Bigger Pocket, from Grant Cardone. You can try to piece it together, but I've organized it in such a way and layered in an accountability structure to make sure that you actually get the work done, because information without integration will lead to nothing, okay? So I no longer give away my information without giving the accountability to actually make sure that it's implemented. I don't want to waste your time. I don't want to waste my time, okay? So the multifamily master plan would be $1,999. I also want to make this clear that this is not just an online course, okay? I don't even like calling it a course. Why? Because only 20% of the program will actually be on the computer. You cannot just show up to a computer and hope that, and watch some videos and hope that a deal is going to land into your lap. In fact, watch this. How many of you have signed up for an online course and didn't even log into the platform? How many signed up for an online course and didn't even log into the platform? Or how many of you have a book on your shelf that you wanted to read because you knew it would help you grow, but you didn't even read it? Why? Because we don't have the accountability. This is why I offer the accountability. That is my focus, is accountability in your transformation, okay? We're all guilty. I'm guilty too, okay? So don't feel bad, right? But I want to make sure that you succeed. You know, there's people out here who will sell you programs and all they care about is getting your money, and then they don't care if you actually finish or not. I'm here to make sure that you actually acquire multifamily real estate. Why? Because that's part of my purpose. This is my purpose. This is why I'm here, okay? So 40% of this program will be on the phone. You will be calling real estate agents. You will be calling lenders. You will be calling contractors. You'll be calling owners, right? And then 40% of this program will be in your car, in your shoes, actually visiting new neighborhoods. Real estate is a contact sport. You need to be in contact with people and you need to be in contact with properties. So here's how the program is structured. Every week you will have a new challenge. The first week is your financial house cleaning challenge. Then there's a lender shopping challenge, pre-approval challenge, real estate agent challenge, neighborhood knowledge challenge, deal a day challenge. Every week is a new challenge. Then you'll have your real estate team building challenge, your neighborhood, new neighborhood 2 challenge, deal a day challenge number 2, new neighborhood challenge number 3, and deal a day challenge number 3. So every week you will have a challenge. Again, this is not sitting behind a computer hoping that a deal lands in your lap somehow magically. No, this is about getting you away from your computer out into the world, into the real estate community, wherever it is that you are. So part of the accountability mechanism that I offer is that every week we have our weekly deal room calls. And our weekly deal room calls is a place where everybody comes together and we actually meet, and you can ask any question that you have about any deal that you're doing or anything that you're experiencing with the curriculum, okay? So you can sign up to be in the hot seat, and this is the best way to get coaching from me live in the context of the community, okay? So that's our weekly deal room call. That's every single week, with the exception of some holidays. That's every single week I'm showing up to make sure that you are getting closer and closer to closing. On top of that, you all get the purchase of past deal analyzer, okay? Remember, the only thing that beats a cash offer is a fast offer. So you actually get this tool, this financial model that I've spent 6 years developing. You actually get this tool so that you can use it to evaluate deals where you are. On top of that, you also get to come to New Orleans for a 2-day wealth building and real estate seminar where I'll be teaching you not only real estate, but I'll also be teaching you how I manage my wealth beyond real estate, okay? Real estate is one aspect of my entire generational wealth strategy. So that event, it happens 2 times a year, one time in January and the other one in June, okay? So you get to pick which one that you desire to come to, and that is absolutely free. You get to come to that event for free. I want to meet you in person, and I want you to experience this curriculum alive, okay? So when you put all those things together, the multifamily master plan, the weekly deal room calls, the purchase of past deal analyzer, which is priceless, and the live 2-day event, that would be $4,997. But again, that is not what you are paying tonight, okay? So let me just ask you this before I share with you what the actual price is. Would it be worth $4,997 one time to eliminate your monthly rent expense or single family home mortgage forever? Would you pay $4,997 one time to eliminate that forever? Okay, got you. All right. Would you pay $4,997 one time if all it did was help you acquire one cash flow positive multifamily home within the next year, within the next 12 months? If you just acquired one multifamily home within the next 12 months. Okay, would it be worth it if the only thing you learned was how to buy right so that you never ended up underwater on a real estate deal thanks to the deal analyzer? If it just stopped you from making bad decisions when it comes to real estate? Because those are costly. A lot of people got caught up in the predatory loans, et cetera. They didn't read the paperwork. They weren't educated in this way. And now they're digging themselves out of that hole. So here are your options. Option number one, it feels free, but it costs the most. And that is you do nothing. You do nothing. You keep going about what you're going about. Keep watching the webinars. Keep watching YouTube videos. Keep watching, listening to podcasts. But you do nothing. You're just ingesting, but you're not taking action. And while you're doing that, rents will continue to rise too high for you to save, and the prices will continue to rise too high for you to buy. And you'll be in a worse situation a year from now. So here's the deal. Earlier, when I asked you, would you give up or go get the money? And everybody in the chat was saying, oh, I would go get the money, right? And that's when it was easy to use your fingers. What do they call these? Twitter fingers? When you're using your Twitter fingers to type in, oh yeah, I'll go get the money. You know me, I always go get the money. But now I'm actually presenting you with an opportunity. And I'm saying, go get the money. Go get the money. Because I'm presenting you with the opportunity to change the financial trajectory of your family and your life, okay? And so we'll see who's real and who's not, okay? So option number two is a one-time payment of just $1,497. You said it would be worth $4,997. I'm actually giving it to you for almost 1/3 of that, which is $1,497. That's equivalent to 1 to 2 months rent for you all, okay? So you can go join right now at multifamilymovement.com. I'm going to put it in the chat. Multifamilymovement.com. Multifamilymovement.com. It is in the chat now. You can join for $1,497 right now. That will save you $597 in relationship to option number two. Somebody asked, how long will this offer be available? This offer will be available until Monday. What is it? No, Sunday night. Sunday night. Somebody's asking, can we make payments? Yes. So if you do not have $1,497, first and foremost, that is a red flag. It is a red flag. You are an adult, right? You've been working for how many years now? If you don't have $1,497 to invest in your dream, that's a red flag, and it means that you have to do something different. But I want to work with you. So option number three is a monthly payment plan. And you can actually start and join this movement for just $349 per month for 6 months. That is a total of $2,094. So it costs you more than the single pay plan, okay? But I want to make this accessible for those of you who are there. Now, when you pay monthly, your modules will be dripped based on when you pay, okay? When you pay in full, you get access to everything right away, right? And you go through it at your own pace. When you pay monthly, your modules will be dripped according to your actual payments, okay? So you still get access to everything. You still get the ticket. You still get the purchase of past deal analyzer. You still get everything, but this is the monthly payment plan. Now, the reason I structured it this way, because I know that there's a lot of people online who will try to put you on a subscription plan and hope that you forget and you're just being billed for the next 2 years, even though you've never even logged in. That's not how I operate. That's not how I operate. I do not want to be incentivized to keep you for as long as possible. Yes, I want to help you get to 10 multifamily homes if that's what you want, but that's not how I want to be incentivized. So I've actually put an end to your payments after month 6. After month 6, I put an end to your payments. So this is not a subscription that's just going to go on indefinitely forever. You will pay 6 payments and that's it. And you have access to the curriculum for the rest of your life. And you have access to the weekly deal room calls indefinitely. That's how I structure it. That's my way of having integrity in this process. There's other people in this space. In fact, a friend of mine, it's hard to call him a friend, but they said, I asked them who is their most profitable customer. And you know what they told me? They said the personal development junkies who buy everything, but they don't do anything, right? That's not how I operate. I can't go to sleep at night knowing that you bought the program, but you never took action. No, that's a waste of my time. That's a waste of my energy. And that's a waste of yours. Okay. So Stephanie Jones asks, how is it free again? I'm going to repeat, Stephanie. When you pay for the accountability, and that's what I'm offering you right now. When you pay for the accountability and the structure that I'm offering you, then you can have all the information that I currently have in the Multifamily Master Plan and that I'm currently adding to the Multifamily Master Plan. You get to have all of that for absolutely free. It's just like a gym membership. You pay for the membership, right? And then you get access to any equipment that you have in there. So any tool that any tool that I create or provide that I use in my own business, you will get access to for free, okay? But I do not give away that stuff without the accountability, because I want to make sure that you actually use the stuff. I want to make sure that you actually implement it, okay? So this is why I structure it in this particular way. So there are, David said, you don't have to speak on payments so much. I think David's saying, look, if people are going to get it or they're not going to get it. So I hear you, David. You're right. I'm not trying to oversell anybody or whatnot. I want you to make the best decision for you. So David's right. So I'm gonna follow David's lead on this one. Okay. So bonus number 1 is Fuel It. So this program is about helping you get to property number 1, but I want you to keep buying after that. And once you get property 1 and you actually get some positive cash flow, you're gonna get addicted. And so I want to help you get all the way to 10. So there's a couple hurdles. There's going from 0 to 1, going from 1 to 2, because then from 1 to 2, you have to pay 25% down, and then scaling from 2 to 10. So I want to show you exactly how I went from 0 to 10 in literally since 2017 to now. I've acquired 9 properties. So I'm going to show you how I did that so quickly, and that's the Fuel It module. And then there's bonus number 2, the REI tax secrets, how to reduce your taxes. Remember in that one property, I showed you that I was going to be saving $278,000 in taxes. I'm going to show you how to structure your tax situation so that you maximize all the tax benefits that multifamily real estate offers you. Single family real estate does not offer you these tax benefits, okay? I'm going to show you how to take full advantage of that. This is not tax evasion. This is tax avoidance by leveraging the law, okay? We are leveraging the law. The law is actually set up for real estate investors, okay? So I'm going to show you how to leverage all of that in the REI tax secrets. For those of you who live in communities where Airbnb is okay, you'll also get access to my program, Overnight Success, which is how to grow using Airbnb. I've grown a 6-figure Airbnb business, and I'm going to show you exactly how to set up your entire interior layout. I'm going to show you how to set up your automatic messages. I'm going to show you how to get reviews really quickly, etc., so that you can start cash flowing. If you do this right, Airbnb can provide 2 times or 3 times what you would get in rent for the same space that you have, okay? For those of you who have credit challenges, I'm giving you a bonus number 4, which is credit etiquette. I've actually paid Tanya Rapley, who's been featured on OWN, Black Enterprise. I paid her to license her credit etiquette course because I realized that this was a blockage for people. I want you to get your credit score up so that you can get your interest rate down, which means that you're going to save tens of thousands of dollars on your mortgage, okay? So I've actually licensed this program for her, and you get access to it so that you can get your credit score up, jump it up 50 to 100 points so that you can actually get the good financing terms from the bank, okay? And then the Purchaser Pass Deal Analyzer, I've actually converted it into an online web app. And what's beautiful about it is that when you join, you will get lifetime access to run as many deals as you want through the Purchaser Pass Deal Analyzer. Now, on top of that, in this community, this is not a public app. This is only for my students. On top of that, all of my students, they are running deals through this app every single day. And we have a page called Public Deals. And on the Public Deals page, guess what? Everybody is sharing the deals that they have evaluated, but they're not doing. They share those in the Public Deals page, and you get to just cherry pick them. So if you're looking for deals, so imagine hundreds of people looking for deals, sharing them collectively in your community, in your city, and you able to move based on deals that other people have found on market or off market. Okay, so this is the power of this tool. This is where the mastermind really comes together, is because we're all looking for multifamily real estate deals together. There's only 2.6 million of them. Not all of them are for sale, and we are all collectively having our eyes and ear to the road to find them. So when you add in all those bonuses together, this would be $7,586. But like I said, you can get access to all of this tonight for just $1,497. This is what it looks like from an image standpoint. This is not what you're paying. Now, I want to share something with you, okay? This is my guarantee. I'm committed to 100% success rate for my students once they are pre-approved. Once you're pre-approved, I take responsibility for your success as long as you show up and do the work, which means you're pounding the pavement, meeting people, analyzing deals, and making offers. That means that once you join the multifamily movement, you get lifetime membership, which gives you access to our weekly deal room calls indefinitely. Now, I'm going to repeat this 3 times so everybody is clear. There are no refunds for this program. There are no refunds for this program. There are no refunds for this program. You're not just going to come in, use the program, and they say, oh, I want a 30-day money-back guarantee. No. My commitment to you is that you succeed. So what I call this guarantee is that I will coach you until you close guarantee. Okay? I will coach you until you close. You will stay under my wing, under my tutelage as my student until you get to the closing room. I'm going to be there with you until you get to the finish line. That is my commitment. There's no money back guarantee. There's no refunds, but I will promise to stay with you until you get to the closing room as long as you show up and do the work. That is my coach until you close guarantee. I've never heard anybody do that. I've never heard anybody care that much about their student success. This is how I operate. Okay. So if it takes you 6 months, if it takes you 1 year, if it takes you 2 years, I will be there to coach you every single week until you close. Okay. My commitment is that you get to the finish line. All right. So on top of that, I have one final thing for you, which is a free buddy pass. Okay. A free buddy pass. So the free buddy pass means that you can bring anybody that you desire into the program as long as they are your best friend, meaning that they're your spouse or your homie, their blood, meaning that your sibling, your parents, or your kids, or it's a business partner or whoever you decide to invest with. Okay. So you get to bring them in the program. You will share your login to the platform with them, but they get to join the weekly deal room calls with you and go on this journey with you. We believe that you will have greater success when you are actually paired with somebody who's near you and who also has the same vision as you. And so we actually encourage you to bring somebody with you into the program. For some of you, that means you're going to be able to split the cost with them. For some of you, that just means you're bringing in your significant other. That's okay, right? So this is the free buddy pass. So again, if you want to join now, you can just go to multifamilymovement.com. multifamilymovement.com. You have till Sunday night to make a decision. Some of you have to move some money around in certain accounts and things of that nature to make it work. But you have till Sunday night to make a decision, okay? After Sunday night, the offer ends and we're going to continue to push forward with who we have through the new year, okay? So again, this is everything that you get. You can start today for $1,497. I'm going to start taking questions soon. In order to ask questions, please do not ask questions in the chat. The chat is moving too fast. There's hundreds of you here tonight, okay? Please ask questions using the Q&A tab at the bottom of your screen. Click Q&A. That will put you in a queue, okay? And I will answer the questions in order. Now, if you feel I'm ignoring you, it's not because I'm ignoring you. Please do not take it personal. It's just because there's already like 50 questions in queue. There are already 50 questions in queue. So you're going to be at the bottom, okay? So I'm not ignoring you. Hopefully somebody has asked you your question earlier. So when I answer their question, I'm also answering yours. So again, any questions, please do not ask them in the chat. The chat is moving too quickly and I can only focus on the queue for the Q&A. So use the Q&A button below, okay? All right? So also, for those of you who take action within the next 17 minutes before 10 p.m. Eastern, I will actually give you another free ticket to the event here in New Orleans. For many of you, that's going to be the June event. The January event is pretty full right now. So many of you, that's going to be the June event, but I will give you a free ticket to come if you join tonight within the next 15 minutes. Okay. So again, that's multifamilymovement.com. Most of you, not most of you, all of you, you're literally just one deal away. This first deal changed everything for me. Okay, this first deal changed everything for me. And for those of you who are single family, we got some strategies to reverse you out of your situation into multifamily real estate. But this is how my portfolio actually developed, y'all. This is the way it happens. That is how wealth is created. It grows and 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 it grows over time. Imagine each one of those being a property. One property bought right, providing you with equity and cash flow to buy the second one, which then provides you enough cash flow and equity to buy the third one. And it just goes up and up and up and up like that. This is the process, and it is going to take some time. But right now, we're simply focused on you getting one. So what's going to happen is you're going to start. You're going to get onboarded. You're going to get the deal analyzer. You're going to start the online course. You'll go through orientation. We'll have our weekly deal room calls, and then you'll knock out your first challenge. Now, some of you, you're going to be able to knock out the challenges every single week. Some of you, because of where your life is right now, you might knock out one challenge every 2 weeks. Everybody's moving at their own pace, okay? You want to move at your own pace, and you want to set a realistic timeline for yourself. For those of you who have joined, your password is freedom. If you can hear me, you might be on a different screen right now because you're joining. Your password is the word freedom, all lowercase. Your password is the word freedom, all lowercase. So for those of you who already joined, your password is the word freedom, and you can go in and change it, okay? So today it's $349 per month for 6 months or $1497 one time. After this offer ends, the price will jump back to $3,997. Earlier, you all told me that it would be worth $4,997. I'll leave some on the table. The price will jump back to $3,997, and the bonuses will not be included. So if you want this, you want to take action right now. Again, this is a lifetime membership. So after you've made your payments, for those of you who make the payment plan, you're done. And you still have access to everything. And for those of you who make the one-time payment, you'll get instant access to it all at the same time. For those of you who are here right now still, you will be emailed. I'm going to repeat. You will be emailed the list of down payment assistance programs by state. So keep an eye out on your email. I'll be sending that via email very shortly. So with that, I'm going to jump into the Q&A and answer as many questions as I possibly can. There are now almost 100 questions. So I'm going to push through. Again, I'm not ignoring you. I still see questions coming in. If the site isn't working, try www, try http:// then www, try http. I'll put them all in there. Hold on. There's that one. There's that version. Then there's without the www. And then there is, what's the third one? The third one would be just www, no http. So try all those, okay? So here we go. Questions. You're welcome, Darlene. I'm so happy to have you. What if I own a home? What if my debt to income ratio be too high? Yes, so Yonel, if you own a single family home, there are a couple ways to, there are about 5 different strategies we can use to reverse you out of that situation. We may be able to leverage some of the equity in your home. We may decide to sell your home. We may decide to rent your home. But if this is really important to you, if you're not emotionally attached to the home that you have, there's ways that we can reposition that asset. Actually, it's not an asset yet. There's ways we can reposition it to get you into multifamily and still allow you to leverage FHA. And so I teach that in the program. If I'm using a VA loan, will I still need money down? No, VA loan is absolutely one of the best mortgages in the entire world. So first and foremost, thank you for your service. And I'm so glad that you have this tool, which is the VA loan. And on top of that, if you didn't know, you can use a VA loan several times as well. So we have a lot of people who are leveraging the VA loan, which is exciting, which means no money down. But there are some fine print with the VA loan that you need to be aware of before you jump in and commit. Okay. Do you handle your own property management or do you outsource? So Joseph, great question. In terms of property management, I typically, I handle my property management until the property is stabilized, meaning that the structural integrity of the property is stabilized. And then once I feel that I have the type of tenants that I desire. Once those 2 things are in place, then I outsource property management to someone else, okay? So I take care of those 2 things. So that can mean 6 months. It can mean it can mean 6 months to a year that I'm managing the property before I hand it off to someone else. Okay. How does one research the management company on out of town properties? That's just Google searching, calling, and networking. That's Google searching, calling, and networking to find a property management company. Okay. So for those of you who desire to invest in, or not even desire to, but have to invest from a distance, the key person you're going to need is a great property manager who also comes with relationships to contractors, et cetera, and the community at large so that they can attract tenants really quickly. So that's going to be the key relationship that you need. You're going to need a realtor and or great property manager. Okay. Does your program help with the down payment? Do I help with the down payment? No. Do I show you? I don't provide any money with this program. But yeah, I was pre-approved twice because of my credit, but I don't have steady employment. I saw several properties, multifamily under 100K. What steps should I take? Without steady employment, it's going to be hard to get financed. So that's the first step you need to take is get steady employment. Or you're going to have to learn this curriculum, be able to speak this language that I'm speaking, and be able to go attract financing beyond outside of a bank. Okay. Do banks try to talk you out of buying multifamily homes? Some banks have, so there's FHA guidelines, which have no restrictions on terms of the type of home that you buy between 1 and 4 family. But some banks layer on their own guidelines on top of that, and they'll say, we don't do FHA for 4 family, but we'll do FHA for 2 family. So guess what? We shop for lenders, okay? Just because you have your savings account with Bank of America or Chase or whatnot does not mean that that's who you need to go get your mortgage with, okay? So we shop for lenders. There are all kinds of, there's the big banks, right, who do mortgages. Then there's mortgage lenders who just do mortgages. That's all they do. Then there's mortgage brokers who have relationships with all kinds of lenders and will go find the best mortgage for you. So yeah, we shop for lenders. We don't care who we owe. Are these options only available to first-time home buyers? If you own a single-family home, like I said, we're gonna have to reverse you out of that situation. FHA has a 1-year live-in requirement. FHA has a 1-year live-in requirement. VA also has a live-in requirement. So you and NACA has a live-in requirement. So yes, you're gonna have to be able to prove to your lender that you are going to fulfill that live-in requirement. Okay. What if you purchase your single family home? How can you purchase multifamily? Currently, single family home is being rented. That's great. Because your single family home is being rented, you can actually 1031 exchange that into a multifamily home because it's now a rental. If it's not being rented, you cannot use a 1031 exchange for a single family home. Will I make money quicker by buying 30-unit apartment complex? Will you make money quicker? Everything has a cash on cash return, right? It may take you longer to find that deal. It may be harder to get finance on that deal. And so longer is really relative. Regardless, if how many units it is, how hard is your money working? You could buy a 30-unit building, but your cash on cash return is only 5%. When you buy a 4 family and your cash on cash return is 15%. So it's really about how hard your money is working, not really how many doors you actually have. Okay. Okay. I see you all. I'm gonna let me go fix that real quick. Thank you for letting me know. The wrong page was up. I'm gonna go fix it real quick. Thanks for letting me know, y'all. So next question, I'll let you know when I fix it. Next question, what's the difference between a licensed real estate agent and a non-licensed real estate agent landlord? In order to do property management, I think you actually have to have a license to do that. I don't know what the difference is, and I'm not clear on why it matters to you. Yeah, I'm not sure why that matters to you, but I'm gonna move on to the next question. Will you mentor me in the real estate industry? If so, how much? Okay, so you already got the answer to that. I'm fixing it for y'all. 1 second. All right. What's the cost? Can I acquire FHA loan if I haven't filed taxes in over 10 years but have capital? So this is a great question, Gavin. You're going to need to show proof of income in order to get finance. And so if you haven't, and how they do that is they do that through your taxes. So it's going to be hard to qualify for a mortgage if you, it's going to be hard to qualify for a mortgage if you have not been filing taxes. Okay. So there's no other way. There's no other way around that. There's no other way around that. And for those of you who have actually been in cash-based businesses like hair salon or anything like that, and you've been trying to avoid taxes by keeping as much money under the table, you too will also get caught up because you won't be showing any proof of income, right? And your income, you've been trying to save on taxes, but it's actually going to hurt your ability to purchase multi-family real estate. I encourage you as you go into this next year to make sure that you actually show more income on your tax return. I know you're going to get greater taxes, but the leverage that you get at 3.5%, that you can't beat that. You can't beat that anywhere. And so, yeah, it's short term. You're going to actually have to pay a little bit more in taxes in order to qualify for the mortgage that you desire. Will you accept the monthly plan starting in November 29th? Darnell, this offer is for right now as we go into the holiday weekend. I hadn't considered doing anything for like Black Friday or whatnot. I honestly, I want you all to save your money for Black Friday for your down payment. That's what I want for you. But email support@thefreedomschool.com. support@thefreedomschool.com. For those of you who are trying to go to the page, let me see. You should be able to go now. You should be able to go now. Sorry about that. Okay, should I get a real estate license, Vijay? As I said before, you do not need a real estate license. Please do not jump through all these hoops. Do not jump through all these hoops. You do not need a real estate license. I don't have a real estate license, okay? Real estate license, the most it's gonna do for you is allow you to access the MLS a little bit faster, which allows you to see deals a little bit faster. But beyond that, having a real estate license will not help you become a real estate investor, okay? Okay. How much money do I need to begin to invest? So it all depends on your market. Great question, Sidra. It all depends on your market. If you are in New York, you're going to need 3.5% on $1 million is $35,000. Then you have closing costs and any fixes, right? So you probably need 50,000 in New York. But if you are in Arkansas and a 4-family only costs 100, right? You're only going to need $3,500 plus your closing costs. You're only going to need $5,000 or $6,000. So it all depends on your market. Okay. If you're not seeing the difference in price, go to try to open up an incognito window in Chrome or Safari, and your new cookies should pick up the new page. Apologies on my end. When is it? What is the next setup after Sunday? I'm not sure when the next enrollment period is going to be, Tiffany. I'm trying to get my cohort together as we step into 2020 and see how many deals we can close in 2020. Titus, can you do 180 for 12 months? Unfortunately not. That's not how the program is structured. We'd have to do all kinds of customization in order to structure that for you. So we have the two options, which we feel are fair and enough skin in the game for you to be committed. David, I'm going to be like you one day, bro. Okay. I hope so, man, or be better. Fatima, I won't be BW ready. Oh, be ready until the new year. Can I sign up for that? Right now, this is the enrollment period. Enrollment's going to close after this, and we're going to go into 2020 with the people that we have. And I'm not sure when enrollment will open back up. So, yeah, just stay tuned. Okay. Do we actually get the Excel sheet to the deal analyzer? Yes, you do. You get the Excel sheet and you get the online app. Okay. Vijay, any try before you buy programs? This webinar is it. All right, is the new? It's not a new link, y'all. It's the same link. It's the same link. Try to use it. Clear your cookies. Or clear your cookies. Tim said it worked for him. Tim, let everybody know if you had to use an incognito window. The deal ends Sunday night. Sunday night. All right. What is the minimum credit score we need to invest? Okay, so FHA, minimum credit score is 500. Okay, which is pretty low. But if you, but at 500 to 579, you'll have to put 10% down. At 580, you can leverage the 3.5% down program. Okay, so a lot of you think you need some high 800 credit score. That's not true. In order to use FHA, you just have to have at least a 500. Okay. Are there any additional upcharges after we receive the program? There's no additional upcharges, okay? There's no additional upcharges. There's no hidden fees or anything like that. The only fee is when you do decide to come to the event, there's a $99 seat hold, okay? It's a seat hold, right? And when you actually show up, you get that $99 back in cash, okay? It's just a seat hold. That's it. There's no hidden fees or upcharges or anything like that once you join, okay? Okay. Can you help get pre-approved or secure financing? No, I do not serve any financial function. I'm served. I'm the financial function. Except my financial function is helping you get your financial house in order and helping you get your financing folder in order to present to the banks. But I do not. I'm not in the business of lending money or pre-approving people. Okay. Do you work with Canadian investors? Great question, Admire. I do have a Canadian student. I do not know all of the policies that are currently going on in Canada. So I understand how this works in the United States. I don't know everything in Canada. I know Canada, I think you have shorter mortgages, like 15 to 20 years, which could actually affect cash flow. There's likely still deals there. There's obviously people renting there. But I think home ownership works a little bit differently there. If you see a lot of similarity between the American structure, then I'll be happy to have you and guide you through this process. Has people keep asking, will the recording be available? I want to show it to my buddy pass person. I guess, yeah, since some of you need to show it to other people to make a joint decision, then I'll send out a replay. I'll send out a replay. Will you be giving some good lender information? Yes, I have a mortgage broker that I rely on heavily to help you all find deals, and I make that introduction to you. He's the best in the game. Okay. Are you the only person on your team? What if you get sick, an emergency, and we're looking for them accountability with questions? So I've only missed one Sunday, and that was because I was officiating a wedding in Mexico, and the internet wasn't strong enough. I have a team member, Sharita, who you'll meet. She is not a real estate investor. So if there's ever a cancellation, like I said, we meet at least 48 weeks out of the year. Okay. Some are off for holidays and some are set aside if, for instance, I'm sick or something like that. Okay. But besides that, it's weekly. It's weekly. I show up every single week. And if I miss a week because I'm sick or something, what I'll probably do is either reschedule to a weeknight, even though weeknights are well, all nights are sacred, but I'll try to reschedule, or I'll shoot, um, uh, I'll have everybody submit questions and I'll do Q&A. So I'll make it up. I hold to my word. If you have a bad debt to income ratio, it's going to be hard to get financed by a bank. So there's no way around that. There's no way around that unless you're going to go get private money from people you know, or a hard money loan. How feasible is the 12-week program for full-time employees? Yolanda, it's all different. There's some people who are here who are workaholics, and there's some people who are here who get off at 5 right on the dot and don't have to take work home. So you don't have to do it in 12 weeks. Obviously, it sounds like you're very busy. You can set a timeline for 24 weeks for yourself. You can set a timeline for 36. Some of you need to get your credit right. Some of you need to work on your down payment savings. So you'll be taking the curriculum so that the moment your credit is right, you can take action. Or the moment your down payment is there, you can take action. So you want to do those things simultaneously, okay? The live event is actually in New Orleans, okay? But keep asking the questions in the Q&A, okay? I just happen to see that in my peripheral, okay? Please ask the question in the Q&A section, not in the chat. I'm in New York. Do you think I can acquire a good multifamily deal in New York? The only way to win in New York, Natalie, is going to be research and relationships, right? There's people from Dubai who are willing to throw cash at any New York deal just because they got the cash, and that's who you're competing against. So the only way to win in New York is going to be because you found an off-market deal that somebody's grandma at church passed, and the family wanted to sell, and you happen to be in the right place at the right time. That's how you're going to find a deal in New York. Waiting to look for it on Truly or Zillow, once it becomes listed, it's going to be hard to compete in New York that way. The other question I have is the other statement I want to make to you is that your money doesn't have to work in the same city as you. Your money does not have to work in the same city as you. So you don't have to be. I left New York because after acquiring my first property there, it was going to be difficult to acquire another one. At $1 million, I would have to save up $250,000 because your second multifamily purchase is going to require 25% down payment. Okay. So I would have to save up $250,000 just to buy another property in New York. So I said, I want to be a real estate investor, and New York is not going to allow for that. Okay. So you don't have to be attached to New York as an investor. Pamela said, should we wait and save the down payment? No. So the reason I say no is you want to train your eyes now, right? You want to be training your eyes, and then you want to be saving up your down payment so that the moment your down payment is saved, you can immediately take action. Because if you save up the down payment, then you start training your eyes. Now we're 12 months down the line, okay? Whereas if you're doing them simultaneously, now you can start taking action and making offers within 6 months or sooner, okay? Depends on how much you need to save based on your market. After Sunday, will the opportunity be available? I really want to join, but I'm broke right now. She said broke. She said two brokes. So right now, enrollment will end on Sunday, and like I said, I hadn't considered a little Black Friday thing, but I may do a Black Friday thing. It won't be discounted more than what it is right now. But I may do a one-day thing on Black Friday. So keep your eyes open on your email. I hadn't considered that. So if you're getting paid like next week or something like that, and that's going to work for you, just keep your eyes peeled on your email. Okay. Daniel from Florida. What's good, man? How are you? What advice would you give to first-time investor who may be afraid of embarking on the journey? Great question. For a first-time investor, I might, if it's really, so I encourage people to go big or go home. So if you can get a 4-family on your first deal, that's going to get you to rent and mortgage freedom. I encourage you to do that. But if you if fear is really kicking in, there's really no difference between a duplex and a 4-plex. But if fear is really kicking in, I would just say go for a smaller deal where you don't feel you're biting off too much. I would say just go for a smaller deal. You're gonna kick yourself in the butt after you gotten the smaller deal and you realize you could have easily done a fourplex, but if fear is really kicking in, I would just go for a smaller deal. I'm on disability right now. Does that affect my ability to purchase a home? If you're VA, maybe not. Depends on how much your disability is. I don't know how much a disability payment is, if it can cover the mortgage. Because remember, when you're buying multifamily, if you buy a fourplex, right, and let's say rents on the second, third, and fourth floor are $1,000 each, okay, $1,000 each. They will take 75% of those rents, which is $3,000. They will take 75% of them, which would be $2,250, and they will add that to your income when qualifying you for the loan. So when you're buying multifamily, you actually qualify for more money and a bigger mortgage than when you're just buying single family, because they take the income, the rents that you will be getting once you do purchase, they take 75% of that and they add that to your monthly income. So let's say your disability is $2,000, but you're buying this fourplex, they'll add that $2,250. They'll add that to your $2,000, and now your income looks like it's $4,250. So that's the beautiful thing about multifamily real estate. My question is, I'm currently living in an apartment. I was currently trying to buy a single family home just for my family, but I put that on hold in February. Is it a good idea to buy a family home for my family, then a multifamily? No. Smiley 900. Smiley 900. You buy the multifamily, you move the family into one unit, you rent out the other 2 or 3, okay? And then you live in it for a year using FHA. Then you move to the single family that your family really wants. You rent out that unit that you just moved from. You take the rent from that unit to pay the mortgage over here, okay? That is the process. If you buy a single family first, you're gonna feel stuck. You can ask all the single family people here. They're stuck right now, and I gotta help them get out of the quicksand that they're in. Do not buy a single family first. Please do not, okay? All right. To get pre-approved for a mortgage, you have to be working consecutively for 2 years. I've been working for this company for almost 2 years. Problem is, for the last 6 months, I've been out due to car accident, spent most of my down payment. How do I qualify for pre-approval in this situation? Jamel, you got to reach out to the bank. You got to interview different lenders to see who's going to understand your situation. Okay. So I give you all the questions to ask the lenders. Yeah, you have a unique situation, and there may be a lender who understands. Okay. Cool. Did everybody in chat, please let me know if you got to the you got the discounted price. Please let me know in chat if you got to the discounted price page or if you're still struggling. Let me know in chat. Okay, Devine said she got it. Anybody else? Y'all in there watching the videos already. All right, cool. Kendra got it. Lalu got it. All right, good. Eric, no? Eric, please try a different browser. Ryan, please try a different browser. Dang, Terrell. All right, I'm gonna send out the link soon. But please try a different browser or clear your cache. Gavin said I need a follow-up question answered before I pay. All right, Gavin, go ahead. What's your question? All right, yeah, y'all. I have 147 questions, so I'm not ignoring you. Okay, I'm not ignoring you. All right. Have you ever lost money on a real estate property that you purchased? No, I have not. I have not. I know how to buy right. My properties typically have equity in them. I just sold a property that I had for only 2 years. It appreciated $50,000 in 2 years. Okay. So on top of that, I had all the tax benefits. On top of that, I had all the cash flow. So no, and I'll never purchase a property that I lose money on. So here's the deal. Even if there's a recession, my property value may go down, but I don't care what my property value is. My cash flow will still be there. my cash flow will still be there. Okay. So it's really hard to lose money in real estate with multifamily real estate. I am not a legal resident and my papers are in process and I will take 3 to 4 years, but I have work authorization and the job, but will the banks give loans to non-resident? There is some special loan for non-residents, Imran. So I encourage you to, you got to ask the lenders. Okay. I teach you how to interview the lenders and how to find them, but you got to ask them. Gavin, for the program, no, you can sign up, but in terms of purchasing and financing the deal, you may decide to get financing with your mom since she has the proof of income. But you can sign up for the course as yourself and just bring your mom along with the buddy pass. Can you join through PayPal credit card financing? I believe when you use the PayPal link, you can, but I do not want you to be incurring more. This is good debt, but I don't encourage that, Ronnie. I encourage you to have cold hard cash to be able to pay for this program. I don't want you to get in the habit of financing everything that's good. There's all kinds of good education. There's all kinds of things I want to learn. I'm not going to finance it all. I do believe that this will transform your life and you will get a return on investment from just the information alone. But I don't want you to finance this if you're not ready. I use FHA first time buyer to get my single family home. What other low down payment options are there? Regina, we're going to have to reverse you out of that situation, probably with a refinance of that home. Probably with a refinance, but I'll learn more once I start coaching you. Okay. I understand that everything you said, but my credit stopped me from investing in anything. I understand. Zena, I encourage you to try to pay for professional credit service repair. I encourage you to pay for that service repair rather than just waiting and hoping that it gets better through your usage. I encourage you to try to get some of those negative inquiries off and things of that nature and see what happens. Okay. Those services are worth it. Okay. Stephanie said, I need more time to come up with the capital. What can I do? You got side hustles. I mean, there's only so much you can do to limit your cost of living, but you got side hustles, right? You got side hustles. I don't know what your skill sets are. Over time, I would have to know a lot more about you to figure out and help you come up with a strategy to make more money. I'm a disabled veteran. How can I leverage your system? Well, obviously you have the VA loan, probably. And I don't know what your veteran stipend is. But given that you're disabled, I'm sure that lenders are very compassionate to to veterans who are disabled and understand their situation and why somebody like you would want multifamily real estate. So again, Fatima, that's going to require you talking to lenders, especially ones who understand VA. Will you have another webinar? I missed the first half. No, this is the only webinar at this moment in time. With the monthly payment, what would that include? Monthly payment includes everything except the only difference is that your modules get dripped as you pay. Okay, that's the only difference, but it includes everything. But keep in mind, the extra bonus ticket ended 17 minutes ago on the hour. So when you registered, it all gets timestamped. So just keep in mind that that ended. Okay. Anonymous asked, why is the price different than what I spoke about? I made I forgot to change the page link, but I think it's all got fixed now. So according to what Gavin and other people are telling me in the chat, it got fixed. And so the correct price that I mentioned tonight should be there. What they were seeing was the $3,997, which is what it's going to go to after the timer ends. Let me see. Does your program teach how to crowdfund? Crystal, no, not at this time, but I am, I have found a friend who knows how to start funds, meaning that knows how to teach people to raise money. And we're working on potentially doing a deal that would have him teaching that within this program. So I'll keep you updated on that. All right. I have an opportunity to change jobs for a better location and pay. I want to ask if I'm a nurse and staying in the same field but new location, will this hinder me from acquiring financing? If there's no gap in your employment, I think the lender will understand as long as there's no significant gap and that your pay is similar. Joy says, I'm already pre-approved for multifamily home, but I don't have much money to put down. Can I still purchase the home? Joy, it all depends on your market. You're going to need a down payment. You're going to need a down payment unless you go through some special programs that are out there, but you're going to need a down payment. So you got to aggressively save. And that may mean changing your lifestyle for a second. Can I use a SEP IRA to invest in multifamily units? Yes, you can. I think turn your SEP IRA to a self-directed one and use your SEP IRA. You can also use your 401k. You will likely have to take the tax hit on your 401k. But if you before you do that, I encourage you to go evaluate what has been the internal rate of return or the cash on cash return on your 401k over the past 10 years. And if you realize that it's actually only 5 or 6%, then and you can go acquire a piece of multifamily real estate that's going to have a 12% cash on cash return, then it's worth taking that tax hit. Chris, do you have any members that use the NACA program? Yes, I do. In fact, I encourage it. So NACA is great for helping you with the financing. There is some fine print there. They actually want you to live in the home for the life of the loan. But NACA is great for financing, especially if you're not VA. But NACA doesn't teach you how to actually find the right deal. They can help you get good financing, but they don't teach you how to find the deal. That's what I train your eyes to do. I owned a home in 2005 to 2010, sold in 2010. How would that impact the new purchase and loan options? I don't think that would impact you at all. So do we have to manage the property as a landlord for the first year? No, Alex. We typically put in a 10%. We literally put in 10% for property management. So 10% of rents we set aside for property management. Okay. If your rents are 3,000, 10% would be 300 that you are expecting to go to a property manager. If you decide to manage it for the first year, then that 300 is going in your pocket instead. What do you advise the part-time workers, new entrepreneurs who make less than 40K? That's a great question. That's a great question. So I encourage you to file taxes first and foremost, because you're going to need, as entrepreneurs, you're going to need probably 3 years of tax returns. Even if they're low, I encourage you to file taxes, and we got to figure out how to grow your business. We got to figure out how to grow your business. This was actually remember, I was making 35,000. And once I acquired this property, once I got through the financing process, and this was 3 years after the recession, only 3 years after the recession, that created so much freedom for me to step into my purpose even more powerfully as an entrepreneur once I didn't have a housing expense in New York. So we got to do whatever it takes. But the first thing is you have to file your taxes. You can't shake that. You can't avoid that because there's no way to it's very difficult to get financing without having filed taxes. I'm in a debt consolidation program right now with a credit score of 570. Would that prevent me from qualifying for FHA? Larry, I said earlier, you can qualify for FHA 500 to 579, but it's going to be 10% down. Once you get up to 580, you can get 3.5% down. If I invest the 349, would I be able to pay off the balance at any time? Yes, you would. Chandra, you could pay off early. So Sharita would send you a specialized link to cover the difference, and you would get the access to the 1497 within. I think it's within the first 2 weeks. Within the first month. Within the first month, if you decide to pay off in full. so if I'm in New York and I want to invest in another state because prices are currently too high for my first deal, is that possible? Yes, Natalie. I invested in New Orleans and Oakland without being there. Yeah. Yes, I invested in Oakland and New Orleans without being there. You're going to need a great agent and a great property manager on the ground and wherever you decide to invest. So I still have my homes in Brooklyn and Oakland, but I have a great property manager. Okay. So again, your money doesn't have to work in the same city as you. I'm unable to rent or sell my single family home due to a modification. What are my choices? I have a 30K line of credit. I rent rooms for extra income. Student loans are high. I don't know modification. I'm not sure why that would. You might have to explain modification. You got to be able to sell your home if you desire to. Can I purchase multifamily using FHA if I'm not purchasing in the same state I'm living in and cannot physically occupy one of your units? Tao, no, you cannot. No, you cannot. According to FHA guidelines, you have to have a 1 year living requirement. You have to own or occupy for a year. Um, because of the cart issue, I am going to honor because of the cart issue, I'm going to honor the extra bonus ticket till 9:25 or 10:25 Eastern. So I'm writing that down, and I'm going to email Sharita to make sure that everybody who joined before this moment right now still gets access to the bonus ticket, because that was my error. All right. Um, Alex said we have to manage and live in for the first year. No, you do not have to manage your property. You do not have to manage your property. I choose to manage my property until the property is stabilized and until I have the right tenants in there. Okay. Once I have those two things in place, then I pass it off to property management. Okay. So, but you do not have to. In our analysis, we typically put 10% aside for property management. Okay. To find the first multifamily deal, where do you recommend to go for financing? So I have a mortgage broker who will go find you the best deal. Okay. So I do encourage you not to go to the big bank that you've been saving your money in though. Okay. That's what I encourage you not to do. Uh, Brandon says, "Will you show me how to buy in NYC?" I wish I could buy in NYC, Brandon. I wish I could. New York City is saturated and it's mature, so it's a tough market right now, brother. So I cannot promise you that I could teach you how to buy in NYC at this moment in time. I'm just being honest. Can we still get the bonus ticket? Yes, yes, yes. Beside the weekly method, what method of communication do we use to contact you for further questions? So there's the weekly call, which you can sign up for the hot seat, and then you can ask your questions in the Facebook group, and I go in there daily to answer those questions via text or via video. Okay. Valerie, if you pay the one-time fee, do you get access to all the modules at once so that you can go through them as you quickly as you want? Yes, Valerie, that is true. My mom lives in my home, so I cannot sell it. Oh, is there still a way I can utilize the program to invest? Yeah, you can invest in other properties. You don't have to. My mom lives in my home, so I cannot sell it. Your mom can't move with you? If you bought a multifamily home elsewhere, your mom couldn't move with you? Is she tied there? I'm not clear, Sidra. And even if she does, and you decide to keep that home, you can still invest elsewhere. It's just going to cost you 25% down for your down payment, which can be prohibitive. What about seeking legal advice? I'm not sure, Kendra, I don't give legal advice. You want to find a real estate attorney. Agunke says, does the calculator adjust for different markets like percentages for NY and versus New Orleans? What kind of, so in New York, you can put in whatever number you want, but in New York, a lot of property managers have a flat fee as opposed to a percentage, because shoot, 10% of rents in New York, these property managers would be killing it. They would be killing it. So yeah, the tool gives you the freedom to adjust the numbers in the way that you need based on the market that you're in. There's a Chapter 13 bankruptcy that I've been discharged for 2 years affect this process. I believe I think it's 2 years for bankruptcy, and then you can get back in the game. I think it's 2 years for bankruptcy, and then you can get back in the game. So whatever date that was to the day, that's when it's go time for you. Dates for the live class. The dates for the live class in June will be, actually, it's going to be July 4th through 7th. It's actually going to be integrated into Essence Fest. So we're going to have workshops within the itinerary at Essence Fest so that you don't have to come down here twice, even though I love this place. So it's going to be weaved into Essence Fest, and that's the 4th through the 7th. Okay. Again, the January one is full right now, based on what I heard last. But we do the event twice a year. Okay. How much is the live in New Orleans? It's free. You get a free ticket. There's no cost to the event. You got to pay for your flight. You got to pay for your hotel or Airbnb and your food. But the event is free. It's included. How do I find a hard money loan lender? You just Google it. Just Google it. How do you find multifamily in your areas? I source deals from all kinds of ways: networking events, wholesalers, great agents, talking to neighbors, riding my bike through certain neighborhoods, cold calling owners. What social apps can you follow me on? My main one is Instagram at Julian Gordon. What is considered a good credit score for a first time buyer? 700. You probably want 740, but 700 is good. How is the market in Atlanta, DC? Roger, it's impossible for anybody to know many markets. I know New Orleans, Oakland, and Brooklyn. I know New Orleans, Oakland, and Brooklyn. I do not know Atlanta and DC. All right. So what I do is I'll train your eyes to be able to see where gentrification is happening, whether that market is contracting or expanding, to be able to identify properties there. But I do not claim to be an expert on all the different markets out there. Kurt asked, what about purchasing in the LLC? Please check out my second to last video on Instagram about purchasing an LLC. Eric, I'm looking to do mobile homes parks, have 50K to invest. That's great, Eric. That's a great place to be in. That's a great place to be in. I don't know anything about mobile home park. I'll say I haven't invested in them. I understand how it works, but I haven't invested in them. So yeah, I may not be the best teacher for you there. If that's the direction you're gonna go. I mean, they're single family homes. You're acquiring several of them. So I think the knowledge and the methodology may still work, but I'll be honest with you, I have not bought mobile home parks before. All right, I'll take 3 more and then we'll check out. All right. All right, so a couple of people have this LLC question, so I'll just answer it here. So the LLC, I can go create an LLC in literally 60 minutes. I can go pay state of Delaware a registration fee. I can go get my EIN number. If you were a bank and I just created this LLC 60 minutes ago, would you finance me $300,000? Type yes or no in the chat. If I just created an LLC 60 minutes ago, would you finance me $300,000? No. Why would you finance me $300,000? I just created a company that has no track record whatsoever, right? So the number one reason people want to buy in an LLC is because they don't want anybody to sue them. Well, guess what? I've had somebody slip and fall on one of my properties, and guess what? My insurance, which I get on all my properties, covered it all. They didn't come after my personal assets or anything like that. Now, if the house would have caved in on them, perhaps, and people died, that might be different. But for the basic stuff that happens, you just have to have an appropriate amount of insurance on your property. That's it. Okay. So you don't have to go through trying to buy property in the LLC. The other thing is if you try to buy an LLC, it then becomes a commercial loan and they also charge you more money. Now, some people say, I'm going to buy in my personal name and then I'm going to switch it into an LLC. Well, guess what? In your mortgage, there's this clause called the due on sale clause. And in the due on sale clause, it means that the lender can say, oh, you tried to switch this property to an LLC. We didn't loan this money to an LLC. We loaned this to you based on your credit and your income. And so guess what? That entire note is due now. And you could end up caught up with your pants down because you were trying to be slick and trying to move your property into an LLC. Okay. So get this first one. Ultimately, so the short answer is no. For this first property, go ahead and get it in your name. Second one, third one, even get those in your name. Once you start building a significant portfolio, then we can talk about shifting them into LLCs, getting a blanket loan, et cetera, a portfolio loan, et cetera. But don't overcomplicate this process, y'all. Just focus on getting your credit right, your income right, and finding the right deal, okay? All right, Jenna. So, okay, I'm glad I answered your question. Tim says, speak a bit of mindset. So I'll be honest with you, y'all. So what I'm teaching is not brand new. Do I feel I teach it in the best way? Yes. It's just like I don't know. I had an amazing third grade teacher. He was teaching the same. His name was Luigi Santini. He was teaching the same thing that everybody else was teaching in Oakland, right? But he just did it in such an amazing way. We had fun. We created this store in the back, and he would go get candy from Costco, and we do our math by like it's the way he taught it. It was the same information, but it was the way he taught it, right? He made it engaging. That's how I teach. A lot of this information is piecemeal, right? All over the internet. And I said, I'm going to organize this in the most powerful, succinct way to get people to results. I showed you my students' results, and students are getting, I just started teaching this in July, and more students are getting results because one, they took about 2 to 3 months to go through the curriculum, and now they're out in the game doing their deals, and it takes about 30 to 45 days to close a deal. So before the end of the year comes, you're going to see even more and more success stories and deals closed as a result of people who started in July. Okay. So again, all the pieces are out there, but it's the mindset around debt. Some of you are so Dave Ramsey right now and trying to be debt free that you don't understand the power of actually leveraging debt to create wealth, right? When I say something like money is cheap, that like confuses people, right? What do you mean money is cheap? I want money. What do you mean money is cheap? Well, money is cheap right now because I can borrow money at 4%. And if I can borrow money at 4% and I can go invest it in a piece of real estate that's going to yield 12%, then I want to borrow as much money as I possibly can at this moment in time, right? But that concept is far from people. When I say cash is the lowest yielding asset in the entire world, like, what do you mean? I'm trying to stack as much cash as I can. I don't stack a lot of cash. Any cash I get, I play hot potato and I try to get it out of my hands and into an asset, right? But these concepts are foreign for some people. So these are mindset shifts that need to happen around money, around debt, around wealth, uh, uh, around those particular areas, and even success and freedom, right? A lot of you want to be successful, but many of you have never even defined success before. You've never written down a definition of success before. These are mindset things that we have to get straight first so that you can move in power. Okay, great question, Tim. Uh, Sierra said, if you only get a duplex but have a large family, 6 people, is it still worth it if we had to occupy both units? No, it is not worth it if you had to occupy both units because then, then you would just be better off getting a bigger single family home. there are multifamilies that are not configured in such a way. So in my home in Brooklyn, it was actually a 413. It was a 413. So even though it looks like just three equal units, and you might think from the outside looking in that it's a 2-1, 2-1, and a 2-1, this was a 413. So you might have to look specifically for a property that is going to have one unit that's larger, that's going to fit the entire family, while you're able to rent the 1 bedroom over here and the 2 bedroom over here, while you all stay at the 4 bedroom down here. So there are multifamilies out there that aren't structured as a 2-2-2-2, right? So I just wanted to share that. Michelle, yes, it is important to maintain a certain amount of liquidity. But that all depends on your risk tolerance. I have my emergency fund, right, which is my Armageddon if all crap went to heck. I got that. But after that, I don't have much. I don't really care about liquidity. I want my money out there in the world working for me. All right. So all right, so I'm gonna have to end there. We are what is it? East Coast time, 10:40. 10:40. I see a lot of duplicate questions. This has been an amazing evening. I appreciate you all. I appreciate you all for being here, for showing up. This was our Netflix for tonight. This was our Netflix and chill for tonight. And I think it was more valuable than traditional Netflix. Look out for the links again. I know some of you had challenges with the links. That's my bad. I take full responsibility for that. So look out for those links in your email. I'm actually going to send out the replay because there's some of you in the chat questions said, I want to share this with my potential buddy. So I'm going to send out the replay. So I'm going to send out a couple emails this weekend and just look out for them. And I hope to have as many of you in the program as possible. We're going to go into 2020 strong with multifamily ownership as one of our core goals for the first or second quarter. And I'm going to be here to guide you step by step through the process. I'm so grateful for you all. Thank you for allowing me to walk in my purpose by trusting me. I mean, I just imagine Harriet coming down and saying, he's talking to some, I don't even call them slaves, enslaved people, right? And saying, hey, I got this path to freedom. And they're like, who the heck is she, right? And there's going to be people who trust her and then people who don't trust her. And those people stayed enslaved and others made it to freedom. I hope that you trust me enough to take this risk. It is a risk because you don't know me 100%. And I am actually giving you a coach you until I close guarantee, right? That's the best guarantee that I can give you is that I'm going to help you until you get to the finish line. I mean, what else could you ask for? The only question that we have is time, right? Are you going to do it in 12 months? Are you going to do it in 24 months? You're going to do it is it going to take us 3 years? How long is it going to take, right? Is it going to take 6 months, right? That's the real only question, but I'm going to be here until you finish, right? So that's my commitment, y'all. So I hope you join. Happy holidays. I don't really celebrate this holiday. I don't really celebrate this holiday in the way that America celebrates it. But I hope that you get to spend quality time with those that you love, all right? Love y'all. Catch you later. Much love. Peace.